sales, and more. Practice makes perfect. Dive deep into unlimited mock coding challenges and tests, designed to simulate the recruitment patterns of leading companies. Learn from personalized feedback with Assessfy's world-first AI-powered auto-evaluation system, pinpointing areas of improvement for each question and coding challenge. Let's see the magic of Assessfy auto-coding in action in this video, showcasing how our system automatically evaluating and providing score for each coding problem. And here is real magic. Just like real instructor, Assessfy is also providing personalized feedback, highlighting areas for improvement. This how we humans learns based on feedback. Get ready for the big day with AI-powered mock interview practice. Whether it's a personal, HR, technical, or functional interview, Assessfy covers it all. Let's see the magic of Assessfy in mock interview. Here is the candidate's interview response.
A hash table uses a hash function to map key to array indices, enabling fast value retrievals.
Assessfy AI is now analyzing the answer and providing personalized expert feedback, highlighting areas for improvement like an expert. Practice makes perfect. Dive deep into unlimited mock aptitude tests, technical and functional tests, mock coding challenges, and mock interviews. Get ready to secure your dream job. Register now at assessfy.com. Are you envisioning the implementation of outcome-based education as outlined by the new Education Policy, NEP, in its truest sense? And aiming to secure NAAC and NBA accreditation, as well as improve your NIRF ranking? But do you find yourself grappling with challenges when it comes to translating this vision into reality? Introducing Assessfy, the world's first AI-powered auto-learning outcome measurement tool. Assessfy empowers you by aiding in the planning, tracking, measuring and course and program learning outcome, COPO, attainment report generation. Assessfy is designed to facilitate a seamless transition to an outcome-based education model, providing tools for curriculum alignment, assessment design, standardizing, and continuous assessments, all in line with the NEP's guidelines. Additionally, Assessfy can support your preparations for NBA and NAAC accreditation and NIRF ranking. Connect with our team to witness the magic of Assessfy in action. Introducing Assessfy, world's first AI-powered auto-grading of coding assessments, providing personalized feedback on each line of code, aimed at boosting employability and success in campus recruitment. Let's see the magic of Assessfy auto-coding in action in this video, showcasing how our system automatically evaluating and providing score for each coding problem. And here is real magic. Just like real instructor, Assessfy is also providing personalized feedback, highlighting areas for improvement. This how we humans learns based on feedback. Practice makes perfect. Dive deep into unlimited mock coding challenges and tests on C, C++, Java, Python, DSA, Database, React, JS, ML, AI, and more. Get ahead in campus recruitment with Assessfy. Register now at assessfy.com for 2 complimentary mock tests. Don't wait, register today.
Welcome to the juror panel for the day 2 of Gen AI category. We welcome Dr. Avik Sarkar, Professor Julie, Mr. Bhupesh Daria for the panel of Innovation in Gen AI. I'm Gavin Picardo. I'm the curator of Aegis Graham Bell Awards. Allow me a minute to share my screen. Just a minute. As we start, I would like to highlight we have innovations presentation today, which will be for Gen AI category. These innovators have self-nominated their innovation and they would be competing for the title of Aegis Graham Bell Awards. I have a short presentation to highlight about the event, the flow of the event, and also as well as introducing why we do this award. This is an award for recognition and promotion of innovation from the innovators from different sectors to different categories as well. And today we would witness innovation in Gen AI, and hence I would like to highlight about what we do and why we do this. So good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to the jurors who come from different locations and participating companies who are also been part of this jury presentation. From since this is the day two of Aegis Graham Bell Award jury presentations, we had innovations from various companies, which was in the GenAI category yesterday. We had VisionNet, SandLogic, Mathco, Capture, Inkture, and also the companies today presenting are Setu, Factasy, Zorient, Panicky, Quantify, and Cognizant. These are the companies who will be showcasing their innovations to the juror. The format is 10 minutes of presentation time. You see the timer which is highlighted here. Every innovator would have an opportunity to present to the juror in a format of a PPT, where they would be demonstrating their innovation as well as presenting their key evaluation criteria: problem statement, innovation, market impact, and social impact. They have to complete their presentation in 10 minutes and followed by 10 minutes of Q&A by the jurors. Yesterday, jurors were from Khosla Ventures, who are Dr. Gulati, from Birmingham University, Dr. Bilal, from IIT Bombay, Dr. Vinay Kulkarni, and Mr. Pupesh Deria, who is a common juror for the day one and the day two category. We're grateful to the jurors who participated for the panel in the yesterday, and for today, we also have the jurors, which will be quickly introduce them. But before this, about the Aegis Graham Bell Awards, an award for recognition. We started in 2010. 14 years passed for this award, and this award is known for its recognition, for its innovation. With this, we started and we believe that the innovation recognition is important in the domain, and hence, just a minute, there's an error on my end. Allow me to reshare my screen again. Just a minute. For some reason, my screen is getting freezed up. Just a minute. Let me just structure this, and I'll connect it. Apologies for that. For Aegis Graham Bell Award, from being a forefront for promotions of innovations, now contributing towards the innovation economy of India, which is elevated from knowledge economy to innovation economy. And with this journey of 15 years, we've been proud to talk about this section in the video.
India has the largest population of the blind.
I hope you...
From past 65 years, we have been empowering the visually challenged persons to bring them in the mainstream society with the assistive technology.
75,000 ladies every year dying in India because of breast cancer. We as a team wanted to change this scene.
134 million customers in 170 days. Never happened before. The fastest growing startup in the world.
I would like to thank Aegis Graham Bell for recognizing us, and it's particularly a pleasure because we're a very small company, unlike the big names which are coming over there. Pure startup. Thanks Aegis Graham Bell for giving this award to us and recognizing.
It looks like technology will boost market in India.
This is not just a great platform for recognition of the work we have done, but also for the valuable feedback we have received from the jury. I mean, that is very important for a startup like ours.
I think events like this, where we recognize the good work, the innovative work some people have done, and I'm very glad to see that smaller companies have been picked out to, to be awarded.
I have also to thank him for making me a part of this event for the last few years. More than you all, I feel more benefited because each time when I go back from this annual event, I go back wiser than before, having learned what more can be innovated and what more can be developed.
That's about us, a journey of 15 years to showcase and promote innovation. Today, we are celebrating innovations in Gen AI category. With this, I would like to highlight the juror on the panel. Obliged for the jurors who have been participating from different locations, and especially to Professor Julie. Professor Julie Wall is a professor of AI and advanced computing at University of West London. She has expertise in designing intelligent system, focusing on speech and language application for both academia and industrial environment. Her research has focused on advanced natural language processing technology and biological inspired audio systems, resulting in 50 plus scholarly publications and patent in US and UK, and substantially research funding achievements as well. Committed member of British Standard Institution (BSI) and several professional societies. Professor Julie actively contribute to setting standards in AI, demonstrating a profound commitment to advancing the field and its application. We welcome Professor Julie. Thank you for joining for the Julie presentation.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to the presentation.
Dr. Avik Sarkar is a faculty with Indian School of Business, popularly known as ISB, working in the area of data, emerging technology, and public policy. Dr. Sarkar is involved as advisor at various government committees like the Bureau of Indian Standard, BSI, Committee for Setting the Standard for Artificial Intelligence. He is an analytic advisory committee for Government e-Marketplace. He's advisor towards setting up the Data Analytics Center Excellence by the Government of Assam. Dr. Sarkar serves on the Academia Advisory Board of Aegis School of Data Science and as well as Advisory Committee of the Board of IIT Delhi. Welcome you, sir. Thank you for joining again. Thank you, sir. Moving on, Mr. Bhupesh Deria, he is known as Education Reformer Leader and CEO of Aegis School of Data Science and Managing Trustee of Aegis Knowledge Trust. Under his vision, this today Aegis Graham Bell Award is known to be the largest innovations award as well. Welcome you, sir. Thank you for joining for the jury presentation.
Welcome all the jury members and all the participating companies and delegate.
Thank you, sir. With gratitude, we would like to also thank our partners. Firstly, 15th edition of Aegis Graham Bell Award is supported by our ministry, the Ministry of Electronics, IT, Government of India. We also have a partner which is supporting this mission. Our partner, Assessfy. Assessfy is transforming assessment into effective learning tool. Let me showcase our first non-participant Gen AI innovator, Assessfy here.
Presenting you the future of learning and education with Assessfy, the world's first AI-powered auto-grading of coding assessments, providing personalized feedback on each line of code aimed at boosting coding skills, learning, and employability. Seamlessly integrate with the academic curriculum, ensuring a structured learning path that builds competence and confidence in students, brick by brick, starting at the foundation level. Assessfy delivers in-depth analysis and measurement of learning outcomes, offering clear insights into students' understanding and skills at various cognitive levels. Let's see the magic of Assessfy auto-coding in action in this video. Showcasing how our system automatically evaluating and providing score for each coding problem. And here is real magic. Just like real instructor, Assessfy is also providing personalized feedback, highlighting areas for improvement. This how we humans learns based on feedback. Use Assessfy for career and employment. Practice makes perfect. Let your students dive deep into unlimited mock coding challenges and tests on C, C++, Java, Python, DSA, databases, React, JS, ML, AI, and many more technology assessments for learning. Transform coding skill development and tech education with Assessfy AI. Get in touch with our team today.
That's Assessfy for you all. Now, about MED Campus. MED Campus is one of the partner for Aegis Graham Bell Award, one of the oldest partner for the Aegis Graham Bell Awards. MED Campus is not just a tool. It's a tool which is also used for jurors evaluation for innovations today. They've been considered quite kindful for assisting us in evaluating the process. The jurors would be getting involved in just one minute tool about it, but highlighting about Muni Campus, it's an end-to-end digital infra for managing entire operations and delivering efficiency in any academia setup. This is not only limited to academia, but also for the corporates. Whoever wish to be partnered with the Muni Campus, we're open to facilitate that. And this helps in lowering the costs, improving revenue, and enhancing the learning outcome, which could be for an L&D or as well as could be for the academia here. That's about Muni Campus. I would like to just quickly demonstrate about the portal for the jurors to highlight about the evaluation matrix. Allow me to share my screen again. Apologies for the delay. I'm just getting it fixed. Julius, I'm sharing a demo account for you for Assisfy. This is just to highlight about the portal. As you see the portal, this is auto-saved. Any entry you make in this portal, it would be auto-saved. So there is no submit button, so that it's more convenient for the jurors in terms of any hurdle which could be an internet issue at your end could be solved, and this portal would save all those details which you have already entered. You need not to re-enter it. So I just would like to highlight about the rating. Rating is from 1 to 10. 1 to 2 is below average and 9 to 10 is excellent. Talking about the evaluation criteria, as I informed, the innovators would present their innovation under the 4 evaluation criteria: the problem statement, the innovation, where they would highlight the uniqueness about innovation, market impact, and social impact. Along with this, there is overall assessment by the juror as well, and rating falls the same level as for the other evaluation criteria. As you make changes, you would see there's a prompt which says as auto-save. As I make a changes here, you will see a prompt which calls it to be an auto-save. This is a demo account. The names would be differ. If in case any of the jurors does not find the same name, the faculty is the first presenter who will be showcasing their innovation. In case you don't find the name there, you can just click on the date. The date is 30th May. Just click on the date and you would find the presentation link. With this, jurors would we would request you to please highlight what you liked about the innovation and what is your feedback for the improvement. We would definitely share it with the innovators once we announce the results. With what you liked about innovation, a couple of points would really help, and as well as a feedback and elaborative feedback would help there. Jurors, you can enter the scores as we process with the jury presentations, or else you wish to enter all the scores together, you can make the changes. And as well as if you want to make any changes as you see entire presentation, you can do that as well. And once the portal is closed, the submissions for the evaluations will be done by the jury. So that's about the evaluation portal. Dr. Sarkar, you've been part of this evaluation portal before. I just want to check with you if you have any questions. And Professor Julie, do you have any question, ma'am?
No, I can understand. Thank you.
Dr. Sarkar, good evening.
Okay, so
you're on mute, Dr. Sarkar.
He's unable to mute himself. Just a minute, sir. So I hope you are able to unmute yourself now. It's a bit of low at your end.
Your voice is very low, Dr. Sarkar.
Is it better now?
No, sir, it's very low.
Okay, Gavin, let's start.
Surely. We have a first presenter of Factacy. Indrajit will be presenting. Indrajit is the co-founder of Factacy. He will be showcasing his innovation. Hi, Indrajit. Good evening to you.
Good evening and good morning. Good evening and good morning to the jury members.
Good evening.
I'm Indrajit. I'm Indrajit. I'm the founder and CEO of Factacy.ai. Let me just quickly share the screen and get going.
Can we restart the timer as you have not shared the screen? Yes, thank you. Indrajit, you can share the screen now. Yes.
So let me know if you can see it.
Yes, we are able to see the screen. Wish you the best.
Awesome.
We start with the presentation now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So just briefly introducing Factasy, we are a Gen AI company which is helping other startups enable or adopt Gen AI technologies across different sectors. The problem which we are trying to solve is primarily around the whole ecosystem of startups funding. 0.05% of the startup founders will receive funds, and the whole majority of it will never get funding. 90% of the startups fail, and amongst the top 3 reasons why a startup fails is funding. Because the decision makers, the people who are relying on the entire ecosystem of this funding process, they're relying on tools and mechanisms which are privileged, available to very few people. They are slow and even costly. Because of that, startup scouting is a challenging process. Many of the deserving candidates, deserving startups do not get funding. And the founders, they themselves need to have better tools which can give them a better view of their competitors, their revenue system, what they are in terms of ranking. So the service providers in this ecosystem, they still rely on the older techniques of research. I'm going to name Standard & Poor's, Crunchbase, CB Insight, Traction. They are majorly analyst driven even today. A lot of these tasks can be offloaded to a Gen AI machine, and this segment is huge. $84 billion market is only for research and not counting in the deal makers, the investors, and the carry percentages and all those amounts. They add up to a huge market here. And why we chose to kind of solve this, because in the past 3 years, especially, we have a lot of Gen AI tools, and every second month, these tools are improving. These LLMs and these options are getting better and better for us. What we've observed, and in my personal experience of around 2 decades in this industry, is that all these problems can be broken down into smaller issues, smaller tasks, and the LLMs fit perfectly into these. Some of them could be related to comprehension, some of them could be related to tagging, bucketing, profiling, crawling, scraping. All these things can, if they are broken down into smaller tasks, they become very good candidates for a replacement for a Gen AI engine, be it an LLM, be it a computer vision model, be it any model that we can use. So if we combine these Gen AI models with a preset algorithm, which can provide a framework to these Gen AI models, we are ready for a disruption. So this is what we are building as a solution. We are building the future of research. We are building small modular AI engines, which are performing these small tasks. And when they combine together, they're solving a lot of heavy lifted problems that the research of today is facing. Just quickly talking about the innovation timeline here, we spent a lot of time in discovery. Like I said, I have around a couple of decades of experience in Standard & Poor's. I noticed that each of the team are performing some intricate tasks. All these tasks had broken down, and we had to kind of identify all these engines that are available to take up these tasks. So second part was about identifying all these algorithms and AI engines that are available as an option. Then we started testing all these AI engines and started enveloping them between algorithms, which are providing as guardrails for these LLM models. Then test and validation took around 4 to 6 months. And we are ready to deploy this in the beginning of this year. And the fruits have been amazing. I'll talk about that towards the later half of this presentation. Let's look at all these models one by one. I'll just spend like a couple of minutes or 30, 40 seconds on each. So this is eyesight number 1 model. It is purely summarizing news that are coming in. There are about 600 to 1200 tokens. And it summarizes into smaller tokens, which can then fed in into a future models. Another model is tagging, primarily tagging. These are old scraping models. Plus, we've also had newer models like Llama and Grok look at this tagging as well. There's another model which crawls and looks at brands and company names. In MCA, we have company names coming in from ROC data, and we have brand names coming from PR and websites. So these have to be combined so that we don't have a duplicate in place. Then you have CoinUse. This is the mostly used model and loved by some of the people who are using it today. It is primarily taking out details from the article, who's invested, which seed is, which round it is, what is the amount that they've invested, what is the sector. So all these combined can be handled by this model that we developed. Then you have FinSight, primarily looking at financials data, looking at data from PDFs, XBRLs, and it is also like deducing data and giving out trends. Bucket is another one, which is primarily looking at deep tech or banking or aviation, which sectors are being talked about in this particular company or in this particular article. So it just buckets that into around 1400 taxonomies that we've developed. Who's who, another one, it only identifies persons and then tags it to the company, and so on and so forth. We have another model for hierarchy, which is a subsidiary, which is the parent. Then ESG ranking model is also there. And the last one, but not the least one, is IP. It is simplifying the huge jargonized database of IPs, the patents that people have filed. It simplifies them and tags it to a company record. All these models, like I said, are amazingly modular and scalable. They can talk to each other. Every model can throw out tasks to another model, which in itself becomes a small team in itself. So one good example about that was if I just need to know about summaries or the news, I can combine eyesight, entity sniffer, and bucket. What I have now is a tagged news article with the sector already defined, plus a summary that is already coming in. Another showcase is that I can have say a deal related information which I need to track. I can track what is the issuer name, what is the startup that's raised the money, what round is it, and what amount it is, and what sector, and all those things can be combined by combining these three models all together. So these are like small little examples on how these things can work together. What impact are we making? This is reducing cost by 1/6. A broad, we are at around 15 to 16% of the entire cost of the research. Results come in seconds, and it is very scalable. The larger impact is we are democratizing these research. It's not a privileged privileged access anymore. Even a small angel investor, even a small startup founder can sign up. It's free of cost for us, and we have deployed that in our platforms. The larger impact is that we are powering communities. We are powering open platforms where people can look for investors. Startups can look for investors, and investors can look for startups very economically. Then you have starting from about 1,500 to 2,000 rupees, you can generate your customized investor list based on your startup type and the sector and all those things. And then you already have our own platform, fantasyinsights.com, that we built entirely based on power and entirely powered by AI. And we do not have any research analysts on our payrolls. We have data scientists and machine learning engineers who are building this platform. I'm the only research analyst who just quality checks the data at the end. And then we also provide these engines as service to these companies. Astronest is about real estate, so we have crawlers and scrapers that we've developed for these, specifically looking at home owners and home buyers and real estate economy. So again, just like a differentiator, we are not building upon any single LLM model and saying that, okay, we're into this particular reshaped AI model. So we're not a wrapper AI. We're not building any chatbots. We're not building any dashboards. What we're doing is we are utilizing these AI and using them as tools to build something larger out of them. Again, the heroes of this presentation are these models that we prepared. These are individual, if you can just call them as interns. And if these interns combine together, they bring up a larger team and have a larger impact when they're thrown up into a financial research model, or they're made to create a financial intelligence platform. They can do it pretty quickly, pretty economically, and very large scale. With that, I think I don't know how.
You're done. You almost like a minute left, Indrajit.
Yeah. So I'm done with the presentation. I wanted to kind of cover all these areas.
Would you like to show the demonstration?
Yes.
Indrajit? It seems a fantastic platform.
Yeah.
Indrajit, the time is running for the presentation. What we'll do is we'll cover the demonstration in the in the Q&A session as well. So make sure that demo is small enough, or rather just a gist of the demo would be highlighted.
Okay, I'll just share the screen again. I guess I shared it
please.
in excitement on this presentation. Just give me one more second. So let me know when it's up.
Yes, it's up.
So what you'll see is a signals page. This is within 6 seconds. These are the signals that I get from an AI engine, and it has already identified that this is coin use and play, by the way. So this is said that, okay, this is an undisclosed round, 8.4 million. It's waiting for more sources. And once it gets more sources, it will automatically triangulate, and then based on those three sources, it will show out as a deal which is confirmed. So these are the confirmed deals. I'll just show you one example.
Praveen, you can start the timer for the Q&A. Yeah.
So this is the whole platform. Like if I look at deep tech, these are the innovations, the patents that have happened in this sector. I'll just quickly go through deals.
So,
So these are the,
it would be
yeah.
nice. This is a fantastic platform. So you started with a appealing problem statement that most of the startups, they are not able to raise the fund, and that's the reason they die down. Okay, so if you can really walk us through, let's say, some startup journey, how they're navigating and getting these information, because there are tons of similar or better or worse platforms available in the market. So if
Yes.
you can really walk us through a journey of a startup finding the investment and the research very briefly, that will really help us. And it will be able to really put some thoughts in our mind, your differentiating factor.
Yeah. So the first step is to kind of have a wonderful idea of a startup. The second step is to look for investors.
Right.
So I'll just go on to this platform that we created through these GenAI models. I'll just look for, say, a startup specific list. So I'll just type my own name, Factasy. So what it is doing is it is searching for all the available investors, matching my sector, which has been already identified by my platform, and matching it with the investment topology or the kind of strategy that these investors have. And they're listing out investors based on the sector, the investment style, and the round that I'm currently in. So that is what it is doing at the back end right now, and it is giving out recommended logics at the end. So this is the start of the entire startup funding journey. I'll take you on to the next steps as well.
Okay.
So this is a micro platform. The larger platform which is servicing this is Factasy Insights.
Right.
So this is Factasy Insights, where I can just look at my own startup again, or say look at any deal that has happened. I'll just look at that while this one is already run. So if I look at any of these companies, I'm just looking at something that I can, yeah, Pharmat is something that is Indian. So if imagine Pharmat was supposed to raise the funds, they can look at proposed investors. These are the proposed investors for them. They can look at competitors as well. These are the competitors. All of this is AI driven. So it's a financial intelligence platform, everything driven by them. So in case if I want to look at, say, Factasy, I'll also talk about, say, the patents and everything that comes in.
Okay, fair enough. So we got the idea, right?
Yeah, this is the patent.
We got the idea. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Now open to other jury members.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir. If you would like to check your audio settings. In the meantime, can I take a question from Professor Julie? Yes.
Yeah, sure. So the dashboard, all of the functionality of the dashboard is driven by the AI models. Yeah.
Yes.
So kind of a basic question: how do you ensure, the reliability of the outputs generated by these AI? Yeah, sorry, you answer. Go ahead.
Sorry for jumping me. I'm always like a fast talker. Sorry about that. So it's not like we have an analyst who's written down something and it's just passed along as research. All AI engines are triggered by a source or a buyer triggered by an action. That action is also recorded by that the result. So for example, if I get a news item which talks about, say, investor investing into this startup, so that news item has to tag along with the entire existence of that investor and the startup in our database. So we carry along the entire journey of that data point along with all the traces with the final product. So you would have seen that sources tab which was loading. So those are the news articles that would load and which are solidifying the whole narration of that point. So that is where we are looking at all the accountability and authenticability coming into this platform. This is a major concern in this industry anyways. So any research team who's just putting in their own biasness into the database, that I did not want in Fantasy Insights. I wanted proper accountability coming through. Say, even if it is a government filing, it should be tagged along. If it is a PR, if it is a news website or anything that is giving me data, that audit trail should always be visible to the end user.
So all the data that you're using, you're scraping that, it's publicly available.
Yes, and some of them is government provided data. In India, we have a registry called Ministry of Corporate Affairs. I'm not allowed to sell their data as is. I'm allowed to research on the data and give it alongside. So that's what the disclaimers are all about.
Okay. And yeah, so how you showed a screen at the beginning about how you're monetizing the technology. Can you explain a bit more about that?
So we are already in talks with two of the biggest players in this industry. They are coming to us with the gaps in their research teams. Like research team is doing this percent and this percent. The remaining percentage of work that is being left alone, they are trying to build their own AI model. So we partner with them and build their AI model, and it's a revenue sharing kind of pattern with them. On my own, I think Fantasy in itself, we're going to open it up as free for all the people to use. We're going to monetize certain parts of it, like for an investor who's looking for a startup to invest. The startup scouting is a big money, big revenue generator in India. And then you also have individual founders who are getting the list of potential investors, probably about like $10-ish or so. That's it. I mean, even less than that. So those are the ways that we can monetize, and the crowd can source that fund. So we have ample amount of inertia and momentum in India regarding these startups. So we're trying to build on that, trying to make money out of that.
Very good. Just one more question for me. So what sets your solution apart from other competitors? How can you stop other people just offering the same service?
So what we've done is there are three things that sets us apart, and I'm not being very modest. I'm being very pompous about my own talent here. I spent 2 decades in Standard & Poor's. I've worked with CB Insights. I've worked with Capital IQ, PitchBook, and all these guys. So I know the research teams that do these tasks. Then second thing is our rigorous innovation. Like Llama 3 was introduced recently with 720 billion parameters. We reinvented our own models to make sure that we are competitive even with a startup who's starting today. And then the barrier, the moat that we have right now is the immense database that we have. We have around 4 million sources already read through by our AI engines. And that will take a lot of time and GPU cost. So what we've done is we've taken out information. Now what we're doing is we are building up a research layer over that. So all this cleansing data collection is done. The research layer is going to set us apart with say, you need to know about the innovations in a sector, and you can predict which companies are going to do well or not based on the patents that have been filed today. So those are the research things that we are working on, and that will definitely be a pure data differentiator, because the parameters and the areas that we are using, it's very rarely that we have so much vastness in the composition of these researches. So that's what sets us apart. Sorry for a long answer to a short question.
Thank you.
Dr. Sarkar, your question, sir. So sorry, sir, we are unable to hear you. There's some audio issue, so let me fix it. Would you like to type the question? I'll assist you later, sir, with the audio. Would you be able to type the question, sir?
Dr. Sarkar, we can't hear you, unfortunately.
Are you able to hear now?
Yes.
But is it clear or is it
clear, sir? Clear. We are audible.
Okay. So I think the first question was more on the business model. So who are you selling this solution to? The research teams or the startups? That's one. And the second one, I think you touched upon that information about the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, some databases. But a lot of the information on these deals are not available in public information. So when you are providing that service, in that cost, you also take this information that are behind the firewall or some paid information that is there. So are you also scraping that information? Because a lot of them that you saw might not be available. So these are the two ones that are important. Other than that, I think I quite like that you are doing a very nice 360-degree view on the entire ecosystem, the sector, their competitors, their patents, and their all the aspect, which is really good. Because I think there are sites, as Mr. Bhupesh was telling, that serve some part of it, but I think getting everything together in a single dashboard, I think that itself is a very good value addition, and that saves a lot of time for research.
Thank you, Dr. Avik, for the encouraging words. So, first question, I'm selling to the buyers and sellers, or people who are giving out funds and people who are receiving funds, both of them. Plus, I'm already in talks with taking some research tasks away from the big honchos of this industry, and they're offloading us and they're building AI models with us. And the second question about MCA, we are not looking at any gray areas to source our data from. We pay MCA, we download the files, we put them through our AI engines, and that's the research part that becomes our IP later on. So we're not just like simply downloading the file and selling it as it is. That's not a very like sustainable model as a business. So that's what we are doing, and I think I hope that answers the questions, Dr. Ravi.
Yes. The other quick thing I wanted to see, a lot of this funding, is it limited to the Indian startup ecosystem or is it beyond that?
I'm only Indian right now because the initial research that I did last year, even people sitting in US and EU are looking at Indian data to invest in. So the startup ecosystem is really robust in India as we are doing it today. So people are looking at investing in India even for a longer run.
Okay, that's
And
good. So
it's a
finally,
test bed, so the models can be deployed. An article in a pure linguistic form will be the same for any other region. So the AI models are scalable to any other sector. That's what we've taken care of.
That I completely understand. It's just the source that you might need.
Yes, we are curtailing it because GPUs are costly for us.
Yes,
We're still a startup.
Thank you, Dr. Sakhar. And Indrajit, well presented. Wish you the best
Sorry,
with
just
the innovation.
before we hang up, I'll just take 5 seconds. These are the AI models that are they are running. So just wanted to show them out of my excitement. I mean, these are the babies we produced in the last 1 year. So they are at work.
Wonderful. Keep the good work, Indrajit.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you, Indrajit.
Thank you. Have a good
You're
day.
welcome to stay back, Indrajit, as participants may have certain questions which they would like to ask. There are open participants. As you have known, being part of the day one presentation. If you have questions for the innovators, please request them in their chat box, not in the open chat box, but just you can directly reach out to Indrajit and put up your questions, and maybe Indrajit is kind enough to answer them. He would be happy to assist you.
And I think if it is a free, Indrajit, we would love to really offer it to most of the startups, those who are participating in AGBA.
Actually, I'll get in touch with Gavin as well. I mean, it's something that the more the merrier. It's going to be better for us.
Okay, so
I'll
we
be
are
happy to open
also
up.
really working towards developing this ecosystem. So it is a good thing we would love to really offer to others.
My pleasure.
Good.
Participants, you can enter your questions to Indrajit, and I hope Indrajit will answer of yours. Thank you. Thank you, Indrajit. And we move towards the next question. Professor Julie, Dr. Avik, I would request you to please enter your scores for Factacy, and we would go forward for the next presentation now. The next presentation is from Setu School. We have two presenters, Krishnendu and Subo, who will be showcasing the innovation. Krishnendu, I would request you to please share your screen. I'm sorry, Krishnendu, we are unable to hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud, clear now.
So myself Krishnendu Ghosh, I am tech lead of Setu School. So we had made indigenous and robust ID for student and corporate training, where we can protect the data set and all. So here is my one of colleague Mukubonna. She will describe and demonstrate all our ID and process. So
certainly, we are waiting for the presentation to be loaded, Krishnendu.
Yeah, tell me.
We are waiting for the presentation to be loaded.
Yeah. Wanna please share your screen?
be able to see the screen. Would request for a full screen. A slideshow mode. Quickly, the timer is on. Yeah, we are able to see the screen now. Would request you to please proceed with the presentation. Best of luck. Are you presenting? I'm sorry, we are unable to hear you. Okay, let me assist you. This is Sue, right? Sue is presenting. Krishnandu, can you please assist me here? I can assist quickly.
I think this Parna Shah.
Parna Shah is presenting the screen.
Parna Shah. Okay, just a minute. Parna, now you are able to unmute yourself. Request you to please do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Apologies for the delay.
I'm
Yes, you
audible,
can start.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, Krishnandu, thank you all of present in the meeting. So I'm Parnasha, one of the member of Shetu School. So today I'm presenting one of our product code words. So this is our index. According to the index, we will present. So first is our vision and the mission. So this is a basically 360-degree platform or ID, and based on the data science project. So based on data science project, so by using this id we basically train professionals as well as students, various b2b platform using this id for training their professional. So the basic difference between this id and the another id present in the market is we secure data of given by the user, and also we have our own data set based on the real time based on the real life project. So actually in the meanwhile time, the security or privacy is a very confidential thing. So we give that kind of privacy of the data set given by the user. So coming back to the we have four innovation or benefits of this particular id. So these all are: first, we can lock the data set on the demand of the users, and the second thing is we can record the backend activity of the user. I mean, if how many times user compile a particular code, how many times it get the successful as an output, we record everything. And also there is a there is a facility of the group assignment. User can assess themselves in a particular group. And also we have various tools given by the admin for for completing a particular data science project, or for creating a particular data science models completely. And this is the demo or video or photography demo of a particular pages of our id. This is our sign up page, this is login page, this is the home page, and this is our id part. And we have a list of courses. In a particular courses we have our own data set in a secured mode. That means any user can use this particular data set, but they can't access this data set, or they can't download this data set. And also this is our all reference, but we can see that this there is a particular part of a safe data set or safe notebook. In the safe data set, user can access that particular data set we saved in our backend for that particular courses. And in the safe notebook, user can save their particular files, or they have written codes, etc. And also some image or diagrams will get after comparing of a particular code. User can also save this on their ide or profile. Also they can save in our cloud. And if we click on the download all files button, then user will get a particular folder option where they will get all the saved options here, like notebooks, files, and dataset, etc. So this is the all part of the group assignment. So you can see this is our group name, and this is our one of the member of our group. So may I give this demo from my normal id. then it will be better for me.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So, okay. So give me 1 minute. So it is loading. Yeah. So this is our group assignment part. Give me 1 minute. It is loading. Also, it captures the all previous code we written in our last station. So it will give me also that particular options to choose. If you want to rewrite this particular person, then we can only click on a option, then we will get our previous code also. Give me 1 minute.
In the meantime, would you like to cover any other pointer since it's loading?
Yeah,
it's I guess it's done. Yeah.
So this is our group name. If I click on my code, we will get all the name of the members of that particular group. And if I click on any one of them, so I will so that ID of that particular person will be open. If I click on my ID, I will get all the options of the notebook saved on that Nibedita's ID. So if I click on any one of them, so it will open. And we can compile this particular code for just for checking if it is if it is completely okay or not. And if I click on the submission entity, so we will get an option which code we want to copy. So if I click on Nivedita, then we will get the another options for clicking the notebook. So if I click on the copy option, then the code will be copied, and it will show me in which line it will be copied. So it's copied, and if I press on the compile button, the code will be compiled and it will give an output. So also I'm talking about this list of course. So in each and individual courses, we have our own data set. By using this any B2B platform or any individual person can give a brief idea of the data science model. They give a 360-degree idea on the data science. If a person is not aware of the data science, they want to learn that data science perfectly, so they can use this idea or this platform. This is also for beginner and also for the experienced persons. And we have a comparison with a Google Colab. It's similar like Google Colab, but something different. In Google Colab, you all know we have to upload a CSV file like a data set. But if user don't have a data set, they are very new or beginner in this data science platform, so they can use our own data set. So they will get a brief idea about the data science. And that's all. But
Now, it's just a minute left. You would like to cover any other pointer? Social impact.
Yeah, just one more thing. We just working on a GenAI part. So if when user write a particular code, then by using this GenAI, we will user will get a details of this about the course. Like they will get some code analysis, like they will get all kind of complexity, like cyclometry complexity, time complexity, space complexity, the summary of code. And they will get a count of logical and runtime errors present on that particular code. And also if there is a infinite loops, so they will get aware of this particular information. And they will get a modification, how many percent they can modify this particular code. They will get a brief idea of this particular code they already written on that platform. So we just working on this particular GenAI part, and we trying to include this on our Codeverse platform.
Just few seconds left. I guess we can start with the Q&A now.
Wonderful work, Rana. A wonderful work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Krishnendu, would you like to please turn on your video now? jurors, we open for questions.
Yeah, sure.
Professor Julie, would you like to go first? Yes, ma'am. Please go.
Sure. Thank you, Parna, for the presentation and the demo. Very interesting. So if you are able to, can you support multiple users? So do you have version control, simultaneous editing, and does the IDE support that?
Yeah, it supports multiple user. We have a feature of group assignment na, to where we can add any number of participants in that particular group, and they can access, and also they can access or compile each and everyone's code, but they can't edit anyone's code. And then after that, the entire code will be merged into a submission entity or group assignments, and after that they submit just to assess how much they are developed in that particular data science environment.
Okay. And is there any adaptation to different learning styles? So people coming from different professional backgrounds, is there any adaptation to different styles of users and different levels of users?
This is also for beginners and also for experienced. Those are beginners, those they don't have any idea of the data science, so they just come to our platform and just evaluate what data science use cases are present. So by using this, they can write any kind of sort of code, and they uses these use cases or data set just to evaluate.
For different level of users.
Okay. And what specific data science modeling techniques are you emphasizing? What are you supporting?
Sorry,
There are different steps, different use case for different level of learner.
Okay.
So we have one more plan.
Krishnendu, would request you to turn off your video if it seems you're not in a state to in a video. You can just answer the question, please. Yes, you can answer the question. The time is on.
So we have one of another plan to will enable a GenAI to learn people if they written any wrong code. So GenAI will guide them to that is the wrong part or that is the right part. So that is our next generation plan.
Okay. So Parna, you mentioned about, you're trying to incorporate more Gen AI. Can you elaborate on that? What specifically are you looking to do, and how will you do it?
If user write any sort of code in our ID, then it will take a sort of time. Then user will get a details that what is the time complexity or space complexity of that particular code, and how many runtime or logical errors present in that particular code, and also there is something. What is the summary of the code, the each and every line GenAI will describe each and every lines of that particular codes, and what is the if there present any kind of finite loops.
And last question for me, and what models are you planning to use for the Gen AI? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Jolie. Dr. Sarkar, your question, sir.
Yes, so I think it's a good platform that was built for so a few questions around that will be what are there any limitations on the languages that
Dr. Sarkar, we are not able to hear you.
So you have to be a bit louder.
Just
low on the voice.
Okay. So are you what are the languages that this platform allow at this point? Is there any restriction on that?
Yeah, it allows Python, SQL, Java, anything. I mean, there is no limitation of language.
Okay, because the errors and the syntax will be very specific to the language. So do you have a taxonomy at the back end to take care of that? How are you building the taxonomy for that? Can you elaborate on that
Okay.
part?
Okay. Krishnendu, can you please answer of this question? Hello?
Krishna, you're on
Yes,
mute.
yes.
Yes. What is the backend taxonomy of that? So please repeat the question. What is the backend taxonomy of that?
Yes, so backend taxonomy, how does a particular programming language function? Those rules are different from language to language. So how does it work for that particular language?
So we have our own compiler. So we are managing itself.
So you want to provide any details of the compilers, like what all capabilities you have in there?
So we can present you. How can I show you?
No, I am looking for some details on how did you build a compiler, because building a compiler is like a years of work. If your own compiler, then you should be already be selling it in the market.
Yeah,
Krishnendu, are you going to
yeah.
share?
We used open source one and multiple modules to compile the code for different SQL and Java and Python.
Okay, okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, I think that will be all from me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Professor, your question.
Okay, so it is congratulations. It's a wonderful work you have done. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are very young, and considering your age, you have done an extremely good job. And there could be some improvement in UI can be done, but those are the cosmetics. It's really a good work. Now, let's talk about the impact. So, how many students currently using? Is it a part of a school project or is it a startup? Tell more about these stuff.
We have few big fours company. Those are using this
Okay.
ID for training their professionals, and also one and also one college using this particular ID for training their students, because this ID is also from student and also for professionals.
Okay, so this is primarily for enterprise or for college students? Because for enterprise, there are already existing very robust or evolved systems and platforms are available.
Actually, sir, our ID tracking everything.
Okay.
I mean, how many times you are
No,
writing a
that I
code?
have seen. That I have seen. I understand that, right? But where is your focus for education institution or enterprise? Because enterprise, there are already existing platforms are there.
We focus on the both, because
Okay.
our ID works on for at present our ID works for both professional, like few big fours are using our ID for training their professionals, also for the freshers, and also some colleges are using, some
So how
universities
many,
are
can you
using.
give some number? How many students are or how many learners are being trained on this platform?
I think it is 6,000 plus, isn't
How
it?
much?
Krishnendu, isn't it 6,000 plus in each
6,000. Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
for
Good number.
each
And how much part of this platform is open source and how much platform is built by you own?
Yeah.
So
completely?
let's say compiler is open source. I can understand that. What else you have built?
So we used only open source compiler. Rest we built.
Okay. Okay.
Security and all.
Okay. And what is your team size like?
10. We have 10
10
members.
people. Okay. So it is a funded company or you have really, as a friends, you have collectively built it?
No, it is self-funded.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Really appreciate it's a good work. Keep it up. And just really, if you have 10 guys, hire somebody, get in your team who can really just facelift your platform.
Sure, sir.
Right? Okay. Wish you good luck. And
Thank
if
you,
you
sir.
need my any assistance and help, I would love to really help you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you so much, sir.
Thank you, Team Setu. Well presented as well as answered the questions. I wish you the best with your innovation. You are welcome to stay back, as participant might ask you a few questions in your chat box. Please answer those questions if you wish to. And please be for our guest for the next presentations as well. Thank you. Jurors, please enter your score for See to School, where they have showcased the innovation. And we are moving forward with the next presenter. We'll just get the set ready. The next presentation is from Zorient. We have Mr. Samir. Mr. Samir, good evening to you. And Mr. Rahul, good evening to you as well.
Yeah, so thank you all for giving us this opportunity, first of all. We have done some interesting work for one of our manufacturing customer. Rahul actually was the primary technology leader for this project. He will give the presentation. I'll also be there. And we also have Prashant, who was the architect behind this application development. So he's also here with us. So Rahul, over to you.
I'm sorry, Rahul, we are unable to hear you. Let me assist you quickly. Can you check your audio settings, and you can just select the microphone which you are using. Audio settings. So we have stopped the timer. Just please quickly check your audio settings. We can't hold it for long.
Rahul, you want to come over to this room?
No need to panic. It's okay. That's fine. Just check your audio settings. I hope you need to just select the microphone.
I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, we are able to hear you. We are able to hear you. You're comfortable. We have stopped the timer at 9:32. Let's start with the presentation.
Okay.
Please share your screen. Please share your screen now. Yeah, we are able to see the screen. Would request for a full screen. Rahul, over to you.
Okay.
We start the timer.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rahul, and thanks for providing us this opportunity to talk about the innovation.
Apologies, Rahul. Just highlight. It's not a full screen.
To help our manufacturing industry customer for generating
Rahul,
the
just a minute, Rahul. Just a minute, Rahul. It's not a full screen. So let me
before I
assist you.
start with the detail of the problem,
Okay. Let me assist you. I hope you're able to hear me. Okay. Would Joe go on display settings? Yes. Duplicate slideshow. Yeah, we are able to see the screen now.
Okay. Can you see my screen? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible. You're good to go now. Please start the presentation. Yes.
Just go. Hello. I've just shifted my place. I hope you can hear me.
Just a minute, sir. Yes, sir. We are able to hear you. You can start with the presentation.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll start with from scratch. So we have built a solution using generative AI that helps simplifying the code generation process for manufacturing industry. Before I start with the detail of the problem statement, our customer is having slowness in processing the RFQ because of the complexity, time consuming, and that is also impacting their revenue. So the biggest problem that the RFQ process is a labor intensive and time consuming process. And it is also taking several weeks for them to complete the RFQ request that they receive. Also, they are not able to bid on faster against their competitor to win the bid. And also, yeah, and technically they are facing a problem because of the unstructured data having in the documents that they received in the email, PDF, Word from their customer, because they want to process thousands of quotation in a year time. Okay, so this is the standard 9-step process for them to manually process each RFQ that they receive, and they are taking several weeks for completing that. And initially they get the request for code and they manually look at each of the document and take the information out, put it into Excel. If there are 1,000+ entities, it's taking time for them. Another challenge that they are facing is there are a lot of different type of document, different formats, and all the data is completely unstructured for them. Due to which that they are taking more and more time to produce the RFQ proposals. So another challenge is not only the unstructured data, but each of the format is continuously changing for them to add up the changes because the document formats are not under the customer's control. We have simplified using our innovation to convert that 9-step process into just 3-step process where they will just put the document upload as a single click, and all there from 2 to 8 steps that we have seen in the last slide are fully automated, and the 9th step is completely automated for them to just quickly validate using the Entity UI. So here is the solution step by step. I can explain you about how we build the GenAI based code end-to-end automation to generate the quotation. So the step one will be user will just go and upload the unstructured document that they receive from their customers. Those could be in a digital format, scanned document, or handwritten. And the document format could be anything, either PDF or Excel or anything. All those documents will be loaded into the system, and that's the step number one. Once they load all the documents, our system will automatically classify what type of documents are being uploaded for the RFQ. And as a part of step two, once the classification is done, our prompt configuration that we have done to extract the certain entities will take care of the data that is to be extracted from each type of document, and it will be passed to the generative AI model to extract the data. And once the data is extracted, the last step is to verify by a human and make sure the original document data is available in the extracted field. And once they approve, it is easy for them to go and extract it into any of their third-party application. So that this solution have a big impact and positive impact to our customer because this is already productionized to them from last 3 months, and they have seen the employee productivity is already gone increased by 10x, and they are saving 80% of the time with 97% of accuracy in the information that they extracted. Overall, because of all this, the customer is very happy. So here is a quick demo about each step that are simplified from 9 step to 3 step. As a step number one, user will just upload the documents as a step one, and 2 to 8 will be fully automated for them, and 9 will be a output. I'll just run through the quick video for each of the steps. So here you can see the step number one, they just uploaded. And in a step number two, all the data that is uploaded is extracted for them with the original document available. As a number three, the user will be able to validate each of the field that is uploaded. Here you can see that the document is completely extracted the information, and here you can see that on a right hand side the extracted entities and from where the information is extracted is available on left hand side. So with that in place, our innovation help end-to-end automation for generating the quotation, help them to rapidly extract the data, even the data format is unstructured, unknown. And with the entity user interface, it is faster for the user to complete the code generation process. Also, there is no requirement of predefined template. It is completely flexible, and it is saving 80% of their time. We are using here Microsoft OpenAI, React.js, and GPT-4 model to get the data extraction done. We see a lot of market potential with this solution in place because this is easy to adapt by any industry And because of this automation, it can save a lot of it can do the significant cost saving for the industries and increase in their revenue. Solution is completely scalable and adaptable by any industry. The uniqueness about the solution that we are the first one who actually done the solution productionized for a manufacturing industry, and it is running in their production. There are comprehensive document handling for their set of document. The process is completely end to end, and we see that there is a increase in the profit for because of the automation. Like I mentioned earlier, also this is easily scalable and customizable based on the customer requirement. Now coming to the not only the helping it to the customer, but it has a social impact where it reduces the laborious work and the straight for individuals, and it frees up their time to upskill themselves. And as a help to environment, it reduces the paper usage and the wastage. Oh, that's it. And this is about three of us. Myself is Rahul, Samir, and Prashant. Three of us are available to answer your questions.
Thank you, Rahul. The timer is on for the presentation still. We'll take up for the questions. Let me stop sharing it. You can turn on your video now. Prashant, you can turn on your video. I believe Rahul is with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me add a spotlight to you.
So wonderful job. So this seems a very good product, and but there are a lot of similar products which are available in the market for documentation, processing, and other stuff. And now they have added some flavor of Gen AI. Now, since this is an innovation award, it would be really helpful that if you can really highlight a couple of innovations which you have brought in this product. Sure. The most important thing we have used the Samir, you are talking.
Okay, yeah, I can address that. Sure. So first, the biggest innovation here is this is completely template free. Most of the solutions in the market are either template based or they still have some association with the document format, even if not a very tight association, but there is some association. There are some assumptions made in the software code about some formats, even if not a tight coupling. What we have done is we have done a configurable solution which can be quickly be configured for a different industry, different formats of documents, different domains of documents, just by editing the prompts and associating the output data structure that is required to be extracted. That is one. So this is that way a new approach from the classical IDP solutions that we have had in the market so far. So before this also we had an IDP solution that was based on template based, and then it evolved into machine learning based, and now we have generative AI based solution. That is the third evolution of this solution. The second innovation is it also has feedback loops in place. So it keeps monitoring the editing done by the users or the humans who are reviewing the data, the type of changes they are making. It keeps on sensing the patterns in the kind of fields they are editing, the type of documents where they are seeing more edits, the type of text or the string patterns where the edits are required. And those patterns are identified and they are used back to create some kind of insights for the users on the verification screen again for the future documents. So,
okay, wonderful. So pause on this point. So this is a very interesting point that it is tracking where you're editing. But have you developed this model in-house or what you're using?
Yeah, so this is
giving the feedback.
Yeah, so this is yes, this is developed by us just for this customer, this feedback loop. There is another element to this feedback loop is that the amount of errors or the amount of corrections required for a given entity are also captured, and the entities which require more corrections are also showed back to the developers. So developers can focus on improving the prompts effectiveness further, and the accuracy can be tracked back. I mean, so there is a good traceability of the prompt to the accuracy and back to the corrections of the prompt and back to the improvement of the accuracy further. So that is a generic solution, the second element. The first one is custom developed just for this system.
Okay, wonderful. Now open to other jury members. Professor Julie, Dr. Avik.
So you mentioned in your documentation that you're using GPT 3.5 or 4. So are you using prompt engineering or are you using fine tuning?
So yeah, so we are doing mostly prompt engineering here. And we are experimenting with fine tuning of some models, some open source models, to reduce the cost of GPT-4, especially here, by fine tuning those models just for entity extraction.
Okay. And what security measures do you have in place to protect the data, the customer's data that's being processed through these systems?
So we have a partnership with Microsoft. They have given us good, clear documentation and legal documents saying how they take care of the data security of our customer documents. The customer is satisfied, we are satisfied. Microsoft is playing the role of ensuring the data security here.
Yeah, data will not go outside their tenant. That is made sure.
So are you using an API then to these models? So if you're using GPT, if you're using prompt engineering, how do you control the data that's once it enters the model?
So is this question about data security or accuracy?
Data security.
Okay. So yeah, so again, it's more of trust between we, customer, and Microsoft. I mean, there is enough legal documentation that assures from Microsoft side, because the GPT 3.5 and GPT-4 that we are using is hosted on Azure, Microsoft Azure, and Microsoft is providing good enough legal documentation that assures us and the customer that they are taking care of the data security. They are not using this data to train these models. They are not storing this data for more than certain amount of time. They are also giving us assurance that the data that they are storing is encrypted and so on. So it's the legal documentation is good enough. The security practices incorporated by Microsoft are satisfactory for all three of us.
Okay. And is there any opportunity for the customers, the users, to interact with the AI, like deal with errors, inaccuracies in the data that's generated?
Yes, absolutely. So there is a human in the loop module, especially here. So as and when the data, a document is loaded. Rahul showed the demo, right? The video recordings of the demo. So a human uploads the documents to the software. That software processes those documents, and this information is then available on a screen for executive or a data executive to verify if that data is correctly extracted or not. And this UI is quite intuitive, where the user can do the data review and editing with high confidence and with more efficiency. So for example, one RFQ process has 20 odd documents, and there are some fields extracted from these diverse documents. A certain field, when the user clicks on that field on the screen, it automatically opens up the relevant document, the relevant page of that document, and the user can quickly verify if this information is correct. It also shows some kind of confidence that how confident the system is about extracting that particular field. So it also helps the users to pay attention to certain fields and to pay more attention to certain fields and pay less attention to certain fields. So there is a human in the loop for sure to ensure the accuracy. Right now, we are seeing about 97% accuracy, and 3% of the data fields the humans have to edit. But again, they are going over much more than 3% to ensure data is accurate.
And what are the added benefits that you see if you do go down the fine-tuning route rather than using prompt engineering?
Yeah, so first is, right now we are doing it for RFQs, for request to quotations. We also have to do it for a few more business areas, such as extracting data from their engineering drawings. or extracting data from their specification logs. And these documents are not very LLM friendly. In order to make a general purpose LLM adopt or fit to such kind of documents, we are fine tuning a smaller document, smaller LLM, an open source LLM, to understand the structures of such documents, to understand the business behind such documents. So these documents may lose their general purposeness, but they will adapt very well to these kind of documents for the given business purpose. That is our assumption right now. And we are working on experimenting or fine-tuning these models to see the effectiveness.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good questions from.
Sir, you have to be a bit louder.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I think very good questions from Professor Julie. I think the privacy angle that she highlighted upon is a very relevant one, and you did answer on the legal terms, which is good for now, because you don't have any other handle behind that.
Yeah, exactly.
Practically to go and actually audit their systems within Azure. I think that ecosystem hasn't developed so much in India. So that's good. So from the sector's perspective, how are you doing? Because you did tell that you are very sector agnostics, but if you can give me an understanding on which sectors you are performing very well and which sectors you are not performing well, and also give your understanding about why you think certain sectors are doing well and certain sectors are doing worse, because it will be like, why do you think certain sectors RFPs are not giving you the 97% accuracy? Maybe they are giving only 70% accuracy, and some sectors are giving 97%. So what is your understanding? What are the dynamics of the document so that actually vary the accuracy?
Yeah, so we call it as entity extraction in our terms. So we have worked on this problem for a pharma company, a diagnostics company, a banking company, a logistics company, insurance, and now manufacturing. So we have seen better accuracy now for manufacturing because we are doing it for the first time using generative AI. Earlier, they were all using machine learning techniques. We could achieve about 80-85% accuracy for the logistics company, where we had very similar documents like what we have in pharma, where the documents are very unstructured, the formats change a lot. There are a lot of tables and complex tables and so on. Banking seems to be a little more complex because they are not open to cloud most often. And they are also having more diverse documents, and they are more verbose documents than tabular or form-like documents.
Okay, good. So understanding a better sectoral understanding in, say, logistics or banking will give you better accuracy in some of those cases. Okay, good. Yeah. Yes, so I think it's very, very old time. We are in 2024 now. It was in 2009 and 10. I used to work for Nokia, where I myself as an engineer tried to build a system for telecom domain. So it's like a very, very long time, but gives me back those memories. The exact same problem we are trying to do when I was doing to do the entity extraction hands-on. There was no LLM at that time, 2009 and 10. But yes, it's good to see there are so much has moved on in this space since 10 years. Good, very good innovation. Thanks.
Thank you, Juras. Thank you for your question and team's interview. You did well, you showcased well considering the time in hand, and well presented. Wish you the best with the innovation. Thank you for your time there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. Thank you.
Team, we'll take a 5 minutes, a 5-minute stretch break to refresh ourselves. Please take a time to stand up, move around, and relax a bit because we have 3 more presentations ahead. These innovations are from few of the good innovations in GenAI category, from Cognizant, from Quantify, as well as Panicky, which will be the next presentation. Just 5 minutes break. And in the meantime, I also would like to highlight to our participant, would request if you could rename yourself with your name and the company name. As if you could see, few of the names have already been highlighted here. Name and the company name would help us to identify you from where you represent. We do have the video of Assessify as well, and we have Ashish from our Assessify team In case you're interested in to know more about Assisfy or request or a demo or something, please do connect with Ashish Boyd. Ashish is in the meet as well. You can put him in our chat. We have the video of our partner Assisfy in the meantime. We'll take a stretch break for 5 minutes. Praveen, you can play the video.
Auto-grading of coding assessments, providing personalized feedback on each line of code, aimed at boosting employability and success in campus recruitment. Let's see the magic of Assisfy auto-coding in action in this video, showcasing how our system automatically evaluating and providing score for each coding problem. And here is real magic. Just like real instructor, Assisfy is also providing personalized feedback, highlighting areas for improvement. This how we humans learns based on feedback. Practice makes perfect. Dive deep into unlimited mock coding challenges and tests on C, C++, Java, Python, DSA, Database, React, JS, ML, AI, and more. Get ahead in campus recruitment with Assisfy. Register now at assessfy.com for 2 complimentary mock tests. Don't wait, register today. Are you envisioning the implementation of outcome-based education as outlined by the new Education Policy, NEP, in its truest sense? And aiming to secure NAAC and NBA accreditation, as well as improve your NIRF ranking? But do you find yourself grappling with challenges when it comes to translating this vision into reality? Introducing Assisfy, the world's first AI-powered auto-learning outcome measurement tool. Assisfy empowers you by aiding in the planning, tracking, measuring and course and program learning outcome (COPO) attainment report generation. Assisfy is designed to facilitate a seamless transition to an outcome-based education model, providing tools for curriculum alignment, assessment design, standardizing, and continuous assessments, all in line with the NEP's guidelines. Additionally, Assisfy can support your preparations for NBA and NAAC accreditation and NIRF ranking. Connect with our team to witness the magic of Assisfy in action.
Presenting you, Assisfy, the world's first AI-powered auto-learning outcome measurement system. Let's look at measurement of learning outcome. A singular outcome like B grade or score of 62 out of 100 is an abstract number, offering no insight into a candidate's capabilities at a granular level. Here is Assisfy AI providing you with deeper level insights into proficiency across the 6 cognitive knowledge and skill levels defined by Bloom's taxonomy. For instance, in this assessment, a candidate performed very well in recall or knowledge, and understanding but poorly on higher cognitive capabilities like application of knowledge, ability to analyze, evaluate, and create. Now you can take action based on this insight. Isn't this a better approach than relying on a singular outcome matrix, such as a simple score? Connect with our team today to witness the magic like you've never seen before.
Presenting Assisfy AI, crack campus recruitment assessments through mock practice tests, not luck. Boost your chances of success with focused mock practice and aptitude tests, case studies, various tech and management topics including C, Java, Python, DSA, Database, ML, Marketing, HR, Finance, Sales, and more. Practice makes perfect. Dive deep into unlimited mock coding challenges and tests, designed to simulate the recruitment patterns of leading companies. Learn from personalized feedback with Assisfy's world-first AI-powered auto-evaluation system, pinpointing areas of improvement for each question and coding challenge. Let's see the magic of Assisfy auto-coding in action in this video, showcasing how our system automatically evaluating and providing score for each coding problem. And here is real magic, just like real instructor Assessfy is also providing personalized feedback, highlighting areas for improvement. This how we humans learns based on feedback. Get ready for the big day with AI-powered mock interview practice. Whether it's a personal, HR, technical, or functional interview, Assessfy covers it all.
Just checking if jurors are there. Dr. Sarkar, Professor Julie. Thank you. Dr. Sarkar, so you're there? Participants, we are starting with the next presentation. We request you to please have a watch on your slides. There are next presentations will be showcased in GenAI category again, and we do have the innovators ready. Mr. Anirudh would request you to, if you could share your screen. You can turn on your video as well. Thank you. Just an audio check, sir. Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, great.
So you need to be a bit louder. There's an echo.
I'm I'll just a second. Let me turn off maybe the fan.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yes, loud clear.
Okay, great.
You have a team as well, Sai, Shiva, and Sayed, who was, and Ram Mohan as well.
I'll give a brief introduction as I start the presentation.
Surely, sir.
Is that visible to everyone?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, great.
So you can start with the presentation. Wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone, or at least to most of us, I suppose, in India. We are Pangea Tech, and the solution that we're going to talk about today is our AI sales enablement and automation solution that we like to call Asia. So I have a few others from my team on as well. I'll be doing the presentation part. I have Ram Mohan, who heads innovation, who will move over to the demo. And I have some of our other co-founders, our head of data science and our chief technology officer, to answer, to whom I can pass off some of the more difficult questions as they come in. So just quickly about the company, our goal is to enable clients through AI-powered solutions, or at the very least, move them along the analytics maturity scale a little further from where they are today. Our team consists of, broadly speaking, of data science, of an analytics delivery or solutions team, and a technology team who builds solutions themselves in whatever format the client requires, website, app, or whatever kind of installation they require. Some of our customers here on screen, mostly in the US, a few in India and other countries. So moving on quickly to today's presentation. I'm going to talk about the challenges and the opportunity and why we decided to focus on the solution. Very briefly about our approach. And the key part for me is the demo and sort of the walkthrough for a typical user in our solution. And I'm probably covered during Q&A a little bit on deployment and market and so forth. Yeah. So we deliver custom solutions to clients in many domains. And one of the feedback that we received since GenAI has become a thing is that the sales organizations for several of the companies, they require significant significant manual processes for content creation, publishing, and so on. So To take an example here, several of the companies that we work with have both what you might call a field sales and an online or digital sales channels. And so for each of these channels, when a new product is launched, for example, with the field sales teams, the learning and development team creates product catalogs, training videos, and so on, often in partnership with the vendor to create this content. Pushes the training to the sales team, right? Helps them with pictures, identifies what the key points and so on, before they move on to the field sales. And after a period of sales, there's a performance analysis and a feedback process, after which the content may be refreshed once again. Right. Similarly, on the online sales side, when a new product is launched, there is the creation of what we call marketing copy, relevant product images, infographics, and so on. Usually, we've seen in partnership with ad agencies or marketing agencies of some sort. Only a few of the companies that we deal with are big enough to have their own internal creative teams. And then we find that there are individual teams to manage listings for each of the websites. So what you've seen is Amazon has different guidelines, Lowe's, Home Depot, and so on. They all have different guidelines as to the content that may be listed for products. So typically, there are teams to manage each of the websites, ensure that the content is compliant with guidelines, and then pushed published on relevant platforms, and then reviewed periodically to make sure it's performing well, what are the competitors doing, and so on. Now, this requires several layers of interactions, maybe several different agencies, in the process of which the go-to-market timelines are long, and often the company, the core company itself may lose some control over the process, right, in outsourcing it. So what our solution does is, in this case, is takes over all these processes, creation, manual content creation, publishing, and tracking processes, so that what is eventually left to the individual teams is more of a review and an approval process, and perhaps a refinement stage. And we'll take a look at some of the specifics in the demo. But what the tool essentially takes care of for learning and development, for example, is personalized training video creation for sales agents according to the feedback that each of them receive. Product pitches based on the upcoming sales or renewals and the clients and so on, based on historical data that the company possesses on their clients, and sort of an intelligent assistant for sales agents to talk to, practice their pitch against, to help them answer potential questions from clients and so on. Similarly, on the online sales side, the solution creates product descriptions, marketing copy, text, images, and so on, infographics, suggests SEO keywords, and so on. And it's capable of integrating both with client systems and on the other side with e-commerce platforms to directly both push content and listings, as well as read the metrics typically available for sellers, right? So to understand how their listings are performing and so on. And because all the solutions are integrated with our reporting suite, there's a strong and robust governance platform through which leadership can have a look. The reason we're considering this solution, or we have worked on this solution, is it all stems essentially from triggered by a new product launch. And so everything comes from the original product specification documents that the product team releases. And our goal is to build everything required from that. So releasing time both for all the sales teams, as well as for the product team to provide validation and feedback to each of these cases, right? So it's essentially an efficiency play where we massively reduce the time required to push content to the respective destinations, right? And to make them more personalized and accurate. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but more importantly, we want to move to the demo. So I'll just briefly say that all our solutions, video, image, and so on, all based on on a RAG implementation that is, of course, customized for each client. Given the audience, I'm not getting into the details. I'm sure you should ask me questions later. So I'm going to quickly move on to the demo itself. Ram, want to share your screen?
Okay, so hope everyone can see my screen. So like Anurag mentioned, we've split into field sales and digital sales. I'll just quickly walk through what we have on the digital sales element. So what we see here is typically we want to start with data science, where before generating content, we actually put in our algorithms to measure and say where you need action. So this is a typical client who sells across multiple platforms. So either they could choose to review performance and take action across websites, or they can go into specific brands too. So I'm going to show an action where, let's say, want to improve their performance in this given website. What we do is we work with the client to come up with multiple metrics from catalog to traffic to conversion, just to help them sort of figure out where they actually need to take action. And just as an example, let's say I want to improve conversion on this website for my products, I can click take action, and then we'll already highlight products that need action. So in this bottom table, you see all the products that are impacting conversion. So let's say I want to improve conversion for the first product. We are saying that you need to update the entire portfolio. So I click on this, and this is where our generative engine comes in. We handle both text and image. So for the text part, we look into titles, descriptions, and anything else the selling platform typically needs. And when it comes to generation, we help them actually generate content either by themselves, or help them actually generate content in the style of either that's already a best-selling in their brand, or a product that's also selling well across the market. And this is best in brand is based on the data that we get from the client, and best in category is through public information that's available on the website. So for example, I want to improve the title of this product for best in category. I can click on generate, and then it'll immediately generate a new title for me. So it's going to do this across multiple text parameters. And then we'd also generate image content that's based on the client requirement. So here we have product placement, dimensions, and even product infographics. So once the client is happy with that, they can actually check a preview and then quickly look at how a live listing would look like based on all the new content that they've generated. So this is on the digital sales, and then just quickly come.
Yeah, and I know we're running on time, so we'll be quick on the second part, if that's fine. The only thing required for
just a minute, Anirudh. We start the timer for the Q&A.
Wonderful product, but this also raises a concern. As like you're using Gen AI, it is likely to generate a fake image, not a real image.
So I was just going to come.
You will be fooling the customers.
No, sir, I was just coming to that. So the only thing required to generate all of that on the marketing side of the solution was product specification from the client and one product image, which clearly has the image in it, right? So when you say the only thing that is artificial here are the backgrounds that are generated. So instead of a person or a company taking product photographs, going to a location, taking photographs, or doing it on Photoshop, it's done here. But it starts with an actual product photo from the client, and the product photo at least is not varied, right? The product itself.
Okay, so those guardrails are already there, that the product will not really change, only the background will change.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, good. And how many customers are currently using?
We have 2 who are using this specific module. So, and Ram hasn't shared the second half of the solution yet. But the solution is essentially modular. So if you ask me who is using the entire solution in its entirety, currently one of our solutions, one of our clients is we have recently deployed. But individual modules of them of image generation, product photos, marketing, or our sales enablement and sales team training, which is the other side, we have a few more clients on that.
So I presume that this is like a Gen AI is like a addition to your existing product. It's not a new product per se.
We were not in this market. It is only because of Gen AI that we have created this.
Okay, so altogether this is a new product.
Yes, I mean, we have created it because of GenAI. Otherwise, there are many players who do, for example, e-commerce publishing or trading and so on. Our goal here is to integrate our GenAI work into their workflows and integrate it with their systems. That's our goal.
Okay.
So
Wonderful.
quickly, Raman, let me quickly cover it, right? This is our sales enablement side. It can currently it consists of 3 components. So one is the Ask Me, which we've seen many people do as a chatbot. Right? It is trained on the company's product information. Sales agents can ask anything they want, whatever doubts they have, questions they have. The video creation part is personalized. Creates personalized training videos for our agents, and we'll look at that quickly. Okay. So what essentially our solution does is, on the basis of the feedback, which may be as short as a line or 2, it creates an entire script, scene by scene script with on-screen text and images for approval. So a user, whoever is in the learning and development team, would approve these things, make any modifications. You can edit into individual components, regenerate, and if they approve it, then it stitches it everything together and creates a training video for the specific agent. In the interest of time, I'm not going to have it generated right now on screen, but if you want to see, there's a sample video we can look at. But the third component, Ram, go back. That's fine. Third component
So
is
you still have time for the Q&A, sir, because it's Juru might have questions.
You're right. Okay, so in just one line, the third component helps coaches the user agent with the sales pitch, and he or she can practice against it. So let me stop there and take questions.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Sarkar, you can ask.
Yes, so that was a good point that Rupesh has raised on the images and the fake images. So if you have a picture of the product, can we have like a model holding that image and come up with a picture without the actual photo?
Yes, that is the goal. I'll be honest with you, right now, our tool is currently under work, right? So it is great at creating scenery and so on. We're working on human models, but for a variety of reasons, including, as Sir pointed out, humans is a little trickier. So we have not yet released models holding specifically. It can be done, absolutely, as you can imagine. Right now, they are more without humans scenes, right? As you can, a lot of products are pictured in variety of settings. So yeah, we're a little more cautious on humans.
No, I understand why you're doing that. On the text that you are generating about the product descriptions, so you are changing the text as you showed the option there. But is there a measure that you can have, like this text might be more impactful as compared to the others? Because you can just tell rephrase, and it can rephrase 10 different ones. But how do you measure which one might be more effective? Because there you might need to look into other product descriptions or something of that nature. So what sort of things you are doing in that phase?
That's a great question, sir. So we thought about it the same way because it's difficult to measure such things. So there are 3 ways we look at it. First is the current listing itself that the client has. How is it performing in comparison to other products? These are metrics released by, for example, Amazon themselves to sellers, right? So the other way to look at it is our client, for example, has many products in the same category, right? So in this case, taps or showers and so on. Which is the best performing? Which has best clicks, click-throughs, purchase rates, return rates, and so on. So we measure against what is the best within the client's own brand, right? Which is the best performing. And in the whole category of products, which is the best performing. Now, it may well be that this is some other brand. So our solution picks up the tone and style of the content in all of those categories and allows the user to choose. Do I want to mimic the style of the best performing in the entire category of taps? Doesn't matter who the company is. Or do we want to just maintain our own brand voice and stay within our brand and mimic the one that is performing best for us, right? So that's how we look at the performance. And of course, there's a review over time, right? So once a new version is published, then there is a tracking on how the performance changes. So there is room for A/B testing. right? As you rightly point out, these things are subjective, right? We can indicate a probability on how it will perform, but the actual performance is to be seen.
Yes, the actual performance might not be dependent on these factors at all. It might be dependent only on the price.
Absolutely.
Yes, so,
right, absolutely.
so all that you are doing doesn't lead to
Yes.
anything.
No, so in fact, I mean, that's not relevant to today's discussion entirely, but we have a pricing solution which plugs in as well. So that is more analytical machine learning than Gen AI, so it's not part of my
And also for these
discussion.
platforms, what also matters a lot is that how are they positioning your product on the platform? Like if you have taken services from there, like in their warehouse, they will want to push your products higher, sell your products faster because that gives them more revenue. So those are factors which are, I think, beyond your control.
Exactly, right. And so those are more analytics solutions, and so we address those as well. But today, being a Gen AI presentation, we're focusing on this aspect.
No, but it's a good innovation in that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Professor Julie.
Thank you. You may have answered this, but how do you ensure that you're producing content which is specific to the unique personality and consistent brand voice for each of your different customers?
Right. So it is trained on each of the customers. I mean, I call it a database, but essentially they're past listings and brand voice and guidelines. And should they have formal brand voice and guidelines, it's easy to incorporate. If not, there'll be a list of essentially marketing text and images that they have historically. And it's on that basis that it's trained. Should a user use, for example, just a publicly available chat GPT or image generation, there'll be a lot of iteration. So our goal here is that middle layer, which brings it as close to one click as possible, where it is immediately available in their brand voice and in their style guidelines, right? So we don't, it's not a single module that we share across clients. Each one is customized to clients, to each client.
Okay. And so if each customer has their own model, the amount of resources required to manage that how scalable is it as a business solution?
So I might have one of my co-founders step in here, but broadly speaking, a lot of our clients opt to bear the infrastructure costs themselves so that they have control. And it's often makes it easier for us to focus on the technology rather than managing the infrastructure. So clients can choose how much or how little to invest on the infrastructure, and therefore how much they want to run the models, if you see what I mean.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Julie, and thank you, team, for your showcase, and wish you the best for the innovations. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Jurors, please enter your score, and we get the next presenter ready. Good morning, Ganesh. I hope you could turn on your audio now.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, perfect.
Can you share your screen? Jurors are evaluating the previous presentations.
Sure. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me know when my screen is visible.
It's visible.
Okay, and I'll just move to one more slide. If you could just let me know if you can see the entire screen or if any part of it is getting cut off.
No, it's clear for us.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, we can start with the presentation now. Over to you.
Okay, perfect. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me and for giving us the opportunity to present Gen AI platform in this year's Alexander Graham Bell Awards. I'm Kanishk, and I lead products and capabilities at Quantify. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Bionic, which is our flagship generative AI product. Bionic is Quantify's Gen AI platform designed to boost the productivity of knowledge workers by automating downstream tasks. It's a modular platform that allows enterprises to adapt large language models to domain-specific tasks while ensuring that generated content is grounded in facts and truth. I have a few topics that I'm going to cover today, starting from the problem statement and the market opportunity to how the product has evolved through a series of innovations. We'll do a live demo. We'll talk about key differentiators, the market impact, and we'll end with social impact and sustainability. With that, I'll get started. So just to set the context in terms of the problem statement, the chart that you see on your screen illustrates the trends in labor productivity in the non-farmed business sector. About 80% of all GDP in North America and APAC is on non-farm payroll, which is knowledge workers like programmers, physicians, editors, architects, academics, lawyers, designers, scientists, engineers, etc. And what this slide is showing you is the drop in productivity level post-pandemic that has been absolutely staggering. We've not seen this level of productivity drop in the past 2 decades, and the reasons can be numerous, right from work from home to work from part-time work, and all sort of trends that have basically led economists baffled. But this is the reality. Most organizations are struggling with declining workforce participation. For example, in healthcare, we've seen nurse staffing, etc. There's about a 25% turnover rate within the first 90 days and goes even higher than 50% in the first 18 months. So this is a very severe problem, and it's a problem pretty much across all segments and industries. And this is a concerning trend because it is a key driver of economic growth and prosperity. So talking a little bit about the market opportunity now. What we're starting to see now is that with the advent of generative AI, the marginal cost of cognition or prediction is going through a transition. Machines now have the ability to see, hear, speak things, and now also understand, as well as generate language and create even more creative outputs like images or freeform text, etc. So what this is doing is it's driving down the marginal cost of intelligence. The cost of doing any cognitive task is starting to come down drastically, and it's being driven by the starting point being NVIDIA's progressive GANs, but now multiple other generative models like DALL-E, GPT by OpenAI, Gemini by Google, Claude by Anthropic, etc. And there are the open source frameworks as well, and models, open models rather, that are being released by organizations like Meta, Databricks, Mistral, etc. One such example or one such scenario is a case study that was conducted by Microsoft researchers, which you can see at the bottom right over here on the screen, where they tested the impact of AI for code generation, code conversion, and code interpretation on developer productivity. There was a focus group of 95 developers taken for this. They gave 45 developers access to GenAI, and 55 of them wrote code ground up. And what they found was that the 45 developers who actually used GenAI features were able to, turn over results 55% faster than the remaining 55 individuals who were building a solution from scratch. So that is where generative AI comes in. And that being said, although LLMs are powerful prediction machines, there are about 3 to 4 areas where there are still concerns. They lack domain knowledge necessary for building meaningful and responsible enterprise AI applications. Your data isn't protected, and some of these companies also use your data to fine-tune their models or make them better. Out of the box, these models don't understand the language of your business. They can't perform specific tasks native to the industry. For example, they can generate tweets and blogs and poems, but they don't know how to generate clinical trial protocols. And this may end up, and the fourth point is that they may end up generating text that is not aligned with the messaging of the organization. So they all have to be guardrailed. This is where Bionic comes in. Bionic is our generative AI platform built for improving the productivity of knowledge workers. Consists of 5 modules. On the left-hand side are the data sources that it integrates with. There are about 20 different types of data sources that we can integrate with, including databases, structured as well as unstructured cloud file servers, and even search indexes. So a lot of organizations we work with have already built BM25-bit search indexes. We can integrate with those as well. On the right-hand side is the consumption layer. Bionic is built as a platform. We built the APIs first and the GUI later. So although there is a playground and an enterprise-ready graphical user interface accessible over web, as well as mobile applications that are native for iOS as well as Android. But at the same time, if a customer requires to integrate it with their existing platform, they can do that as well. In the center are the 5 modules of Bionic. Compositors are integration hive that fetches information from the various data sources, vectorizes the information, stores it in a vector database for Nexus and Calibrate. Nexus is our orchestration layer. You can choose frontier models if a customer has, is using one of the hyperscalers like GCP and Azure or AWS. They can actually choose some of the models that are available over there. They can also choose models that are open source and are being released by organizations like Mistral, Meta, Databricks. They can also choose models that we fine-tune for specific tasks. We have a family of QPT models that we fine-tune for specific tasks, which they can choose. Calibrate is the domain adaptation layer, which has 3 levels of domain adaptation. The first one being a retriever augmented generator that is augmented with a re-ranker. The second being a knowledge graph. So if a customer has built a knowledge graph before, we can integrate that knowledge graph to supplement the knowledge of the language model so that it understands the vocabulary of the domain. And the third is fairly rare, but there are organizations we're working with who are building language models from scratch. Then we have Codex, which is our prompt warehouse, which contains prompt tuning data, task tuning data, as well as facilitates reinforcement learning with human feedback. We use DPO here, so it's direct preference optimization that we use for reinforcement learning. All of this is governed by a responsible AI governance framework that measures quality, safety, groundedness, and helpfulness. These are 4 aspects that we provide a score of 0 to 5. The lower score, the model is penalized. The higher the score, the model is rewarded. So far, we've had 30 plus customers who are in production already. We launched this in March 2023, so we were fairly early. 2022 November is when the generative AI boom kind of started, but we had been working on knowledge graph retrieval, knowledge synthesis, NLP related applications way before that. So that gave us a head start. So March 2023 is when we launched this. We filed 17 patents so far, 7 publications, and we have 3 trademarks on this as of now. Okay, with that, we move to the live demo. I'll quickly share the application screen, walk you through the demo. Quick check, I hope my screen is still visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, perfect. So what you're seeing here is the Bionic Playground. This is the assistance mode. There is also a discovery mode, which allows you to actually focus on the documents as opposed to focusing on the conversations. In the assistance mode, we're focusing more on the conversations. A simple example, I've asked a question here regarding ESG scores. And just a little bit of background on this. ESG is environment, social, government risk. This is an example of where an investment firm or an analyst in an investment firm is trying to identify or analyze data regarding investment in an organization. So I've asked it some question regarding ESG. It's done a typical RAG-based response. It's given me a response. Along with the response, it's also given me references. These references point to the sources from where it is fetching the information. But a little bit beyond that, what it also does is it transparently tells me the tasks that it has performed in order to fetch this information and the model that it has chosen to generate this response. Beyond that, so this was a unstructured data response. Similarly, it can also do structured data responses. So here again, I've asked it a question in this scenario. It has given me a response here, but in order to provide me with that response, it's identified the fact that it's a structured data query. It's written its own SQL. Then it's gone into the database, fetched that information, converted it into natural language. And then beyond that, what it has also done is provided visualization, which it feels is the best visualization. So there's an algorithm for identifying the right visualization for storytelling with data. Another aspect of Bionic is that you can switch between various models. So you can switch between multiple models. You can prompt tune these models. You can also fine tune models. So for example, if I choose a slightly smaller model here, which is hosted on infrastructure, you can actually fine tune models. I'll give it a quick example here. You can choose LoRa, you can choose IFT, SFT, change parameters. So if the organization has data scientists in the team that want to actually try and fine tune models, they can do that as well. Moving ahead, Bionic also has a feature called skills. Skills allow you to automate certain tasks. They are basically agentic workflows. An example of an agentic workflow is something like this. It's a stock investment recommendation system where you can provide, certain information regarding company financial metrics, and it automatically generates an output based on the recommendation here, right? And the last thing I'd like to show you as far as the demo is concerned is that we have domain-specific deployments of Bionic as well. So for example, this is Bionic for contracts. It's a very separate interface.
Ganesh,
like I mentioned, it's a platform that's been built for
the time is up for the presentation.
Yeah, sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah, the time is up for the presentation. We'll start with the Q&A.
Okay, I can stop now.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
A wonderful product, Ganesh. Okay, so there are similar products available in the market like iMerit, Articulate, right? So I'm sure that you have brought in a lot of good innovations. Would you like to really highlight what are your key innovations which can really help jury members?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. That's a great question. There are roughly 5 areas that I would say our product is kind of different. It's on the screen, but I'll talk through it. There's a lot of text
Very
here. I'll
briefly,
just give you
because
an
we have
overview.
seen the presentation.
Yeah, very
Very
briefly.
briefly, yeah.
Yeah, very briefly an overview. So number one, Bionic gets deployed in the client's environment. So it's behind their firewall, behind their in their virtual private cloud or in their virtual private network. So no, their data is their data, their models are
Okay,
their
fair
models.
enough.
We don't host
Okay.
anything in our environment. That's
Okay,
number
so
one.
that everybody is offering. So most of the SLMs and
Not really. So if you look at our major competitors in the market out there, when you look at the market share, our competitors are mainly like Copilot, Moveworks, Gemini, etc. Now, those all are completely hosted entirely
No, I'm not talking
on
about the
managed services.
public. I'm not talking about the public LLMs, but yes, LLMs which has been trained on fine-tuned on the enterprise data, hosted on their closed environment. Okay, so you're not the only one. Okay, fair enough. This is your USP. What next?
Okay, sure. Second is that we have task automation or industry automation workflows. So one example that I gave you was Bionic for contracts, but we also have Bionic for supply chain. We have Bionic for manufacturing, etc. They are automation of particular tasks, of systematic automations, rather than just giving question answers in the way that a RAG would. Right?
Okay, so this automation which you have brought in, so have you really learned the nuances of that domain, particular domain?
Yep.
Is that your expertise you typically claim? Okay, fair enough.
Absolutely. So yes. Short answer is yes. Let me know if you'd like me to elaborate on that.
No need of elaboration. Okay, next.
Okay, sure. The other aspect of this is we also have agentic workflows within Bionic. So if you're familiar to things like Devin, etc., like we have agentic workflows. The differentiator here is that Bionic, our proprietary method of agentic workflows is slightly different from what you see in the market out there. Agentic workflows usually involve models creating their own skill plan, and they tend to hallucinate after a certain point in time. We actually ask the model to fix its skill plan. So there is a directional acyclic graph that gets created, and the model always follows that path to complete a task.
Okay. Okay, so these are the three major highlights.
These are the 3 major highlights. Besides that, there is one thing which actually helps enterprises adopt the solution faster, is that we've built it in a way that we already have user groups built in. So for example, the demo that I gave you was in one group, but every organization can create their own departments, can identify the right models for their tasks. For example, a marketing department would use a slightly more creative model as opposed to a legal department that might use a more factual model, right? So you can switch between different models. Departments allow people to have restricted access to data as well as models. So it's ready to go from
I could
day
really
one.
see that you have also a option wherein they can easily fine tune, and fine tuning is very costly affair, and you don't know how much cost they can really incur, right? So you don't want to really have the heart attack to the enterprises that I really go and fine tune. So do you have any prediction model that you can really predict what kind of cost this fine tuning will incur?
For sure. So great question. So there are 4 roles built into the platform when we onboard a customer. There's a user, there's a developer, there's a group manager, and there's an org administrator. Only developers can go in and fine-tune models. When they fine-tune models, before they hit the fine-tuning option, once they've uploaded the fine-tuning data, it takes a couple of minutes, but the platform gives them a projected cost of spinning up GPUs. So if they're on cloud, it will tell them what is the cost of spinning up a GPU. If they're on-prem, it will tell them whether they have the availability of a GPU and whether it is even possible to fine-tune a model.
You want to claim that this prediction is your innovation?
I would say it is more or less. So the algorithm is written by us, but I can't really call it an innovation because at the end of the day, it is using the calculator that the cloud provider provides, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good initiative. It's a fantastic platform. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions?
Over to the next shooter.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Sakar, would you like to go? Professor Julie, you have a question, ma'am?
Sure, yeah. Thank you for the presentation. Very interesting product. My questions will be around the ethical approach to what you're doing. So you're automating decision workflows for companies. So how can you ensure that there is bias mitigation and transparency in the decisions that are being made by these models? Or is that something that you are considering?
Sure. So these are all aspects that we do consider when we are benchmarking models. So we do have a research team internally, and we also have an AI ethics team that comprises of multiple team members from within the organization, including industry experts, as well as our legal teams, our infosec teams, etc. So there are two aspects to this. One aspect is when the research team is benchmarking these language models or these GenAI models before making it available to our customers. There is a responsible AI governance framework that we follow that measures quality, safety, groundedness, helpfulness, and role consistency. That is one aspect of it. So our benchmarks are not based on the benchmarks that you find out there that are academic benchmarks. These are more near real world benchmarks based on how we see customers are using GenAI applications around the world and scenarios or use cases that customers might use this application in. That's number one to be able to benchmark it on responsible AI governance frameworks. The second is, like I mentioned, we have an AI ethics committee consisting of a whole number of diverse team members that look at the benchmarks, but then they also look at they also test the model before it actually goes out into public. So there is a technical team that tests it, but then there's also a business team that actually tests it before it goes out and is made available to customers. Does that help answer the question?
Yes, thank you. And a second question for me would be around the companies that your customers. What types of skills requirements and jobs do they need to have to be able to use a system such as this? Is this a system that's readily available for any type of customer, or do they need to have a research team, which many companies will not have?
Great question. So we've built the platform to be usable by business users. So they don't really need to have research teams to use it. When we deploy this for a customer, there is a small period of onboarding when we actually identify the right models for them, or we identify the right framework, which will automatically choose the right model for a particular task. Once it is deployed for them, post that, there is also a reinforcement learning with human feedback that kicks in case there are some customers that we work with, especially on the telecom side as well as on the banking side, really large customers, they have their own data science teams and they want to be able to make decisions like changing chunking algorithms, switching out embedding algorithms, right? Fine tuning models. For them, they have the tooling to be able to do that within the platform. But for most customers, they will never need to touch this. They will basically just use the business functions that allow you to, ask questions, get answers, as well as automate tasks using skills.
Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, Kanish, very interesting product. Just wanted to quickly understand. So I think it's a continuation to what Professor Julie also asked. So who are the type of users who are using it? And go a bit deeper, because what I understand is that you are bringing a lot of the Gen AI products which are available in the market, either commercially or the open source one, onto one platform.
Sure.
This is something our engineering team of a company is supposed to do. And then when you talk about it as a business user, what are the type of problems that they are solving using this platform? And what is the gap that they're filling up? Maybe you can give the reply and maybe that will lead me to understand a little bit better.
Sure, absolutely. So when we talk about the types of users, I would say they are basically knowledge workers. An example is, for example, I've got something on the screen here. If you look at the the second half of the screen, basically there are three use cases I've got here. One is where there are researchers who are actually utilizing Bionic to perform research in order to generate clinical trial protocols. So what's happening here essentially is that they are writing their research papers by generating summaries of existing literature. And in order to do that, they are basically getting this information from PubMed, from Embase, from like a whole number of different sources that Bionic is integrated with. So this is an example of where researchers are using Bionic in the healthcare space. Then the second example is AI augmented contract analysis. So this is an example where, although the customer is in the healthcare space, but they are lawyers who are actually using Bionic for automating contract redlining. It does about 84% of contract redlining for them, which they review and then send out to their vendors or parties that they're dealing with. The third example is pharmaceutical sales rep for assistance as well as training. So in this case, Bionic actually helps train pharmaceutical sales reps. These are all three different customers, by the way. So in the third example, it helps train pharmaceutical sales reps. And at the same time, it also acts as a field assistant. So like I mentioned, we have a mobile app native for Android as well as iOS. So they use the mobile app while they're talking to doctors at a healthcare organization to be able to ask questions like, what are the adverse events that are recorded for a particular drug in case a doctor asks it and they don't have an answer, right? So these are some examples. There are many more, like I said, 30 plus customers, but these are some of the examples that I have.
So,
Does that help explain?
yes. So in that case, how do they decide whether they will get a better result using one platform or the other? How does your platform help them take that decision?
Sure. So before we have a focus group deployment that we do during our UAT, basically during the user acceptance testing. There is the way that we engage with customers is that we have a pilot and then we go into production. So although the pilot itself is the product deployed, it is a production grade product, but most of our customers at this stage, like you rightly called out, are at a stage where they want to first judge whether the platform is actually helping them or whether it's actually adding to their work. At the end of the day, it has to reduce the amount of work that their knowledge workers need to do. So during that pilot phase, they actually, frankly, do a comparison of our product versus other products. There is not only accuracy, but also what we measure is ROI, as well as the time taken to do the task without our product, with our product, or with another product, right? And that's how we make the comparison. There are multiple such areas, like multiple such customers for whom we run comparisons with our product versus other competitors out there, including the larger competitors, like I mentioned, Copilot or Moveworks or LucidWorks, etc. So we've done these extensively.
So when say you are doing this, say this evaluation today, sorry, Gavin,
that's fine, sir. You can ask.
So just when you are doing the evaluation today, and you evaluate, say, 3 platforms, and one of them gives better result, and the clients start using this. But these are systems that are being improved every time. Like every other day when I go to GPT-4 or any other thing, I get better responses there. So, so how do you know when? How will the client know if any of them has already improved in between? Should I change? Because the whole objective of this LLMs is they are dynamic.
Absolutely. So that's also a great question. So every other day there's a new model that comes. You're absolutely right. There was, I think, a few weeks back, there was Databricks launched a model, and then 2 days later, Samba launched a model, and then Jamba launched a model, and then so it keeps happening. You're absolutely right. But what we do here is within Quantify, our research team and our AI ethics team has a rigorous practice of benchmarking as well as testing the models before releasing them to the customer. So we do provide over-the-air updates as well as security patches regularly to customers. There is a cycle that we go through before a particular model that has just been launched is released to a particular customer. There's a 3-week cycle. It's made completely transparent to every customer. We show them what is our pipeline of models that is currently in the pipeline of getting benchmarked as well as tested. And then based on that, the models that pass and release, we publish those benchmarks to our customers. And then accordingly, we release certain models. If our customers transparently want to use some other model, we tell them why it failed a particular benchmark. but if they really want to use it, they can use it. But it's not like today GPT-4o is released and we will, release it to every customer. We don't release it immediately. We keep a release, basically a release cycle, a roadmap, and a benchmarking framework, which we transparently release to all our customers, and then allow them the ability to see when a particular model will be released to them. Does that help answer the question?
No, thanks for the clarification.
Thank you, sir.
I hope I answered the question.
Yes, Ganesh, you answered all the questions and promptly as well. Wish you the best with the innovations, and we close your session today. Thank you
so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Jurors, please evaluate the session. Ganesh, if you are welcome to stay back for the next presentation. We are doing a last presentation. This is Cognizant presenting the innovation in GenAI. We do have the team ready. Let me add a spotlight to the team. Good evening, good morning to the team who have joined from Cognizant. Chandra, would request you to please share your screen. Would we be sharing your screen, or should I share the screen from mine?
No, I will share.
Okay.
Kevin. Yeah. Let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, audible.
And can you see my screen?
Yes, we are able to see the screen. Let me add a spotlight to your leaders as well. Just do that. Welcome to the meet, Mr. Baba. Chandra, we start the presentation for Cognizant. The timer would start now.
Okay, yeah. Good evening all. I'm Chandra, Insurance Domain Solutions Architect from Cognizant Technology Solutions. Our nomination today is about the implementation of GenAI and LLM solutions for optimizing the insurance industry process. So at Cognizant, we work under the visionary leadership of Babak, our CTO for AI, who is on this call. Babak is an AI industry leader and the inventor of natural language technology behind Apple's Siri. He has 38 patents to his name. His rich expertise guides our GenAI innovations. So with that, Babak, if you can kickstart our conversation with the approach to GenAI.
For sure. Thank you for that intro, and great to be here. Let me start by saying that Cognizant has been basically a pioneer in endorsing and taking up AI. We've actually invested billions of dollars into generative AI. We made announcements very early on as far as setting up innovation studios in multiple countries where we showcase our AI and AI use cases, as well as co-innovate in these studios with our clients. We also are kind of a rare exception in that we have invested heavily in core AI R&D. We actually have 53 US issued AI patents to date, and adding to that, we invest in a team of AI PhDs and researchers, actually, which I head here in San Francisco, where we actually push the envelope on AI. We publish papers in peer-reviewed conferences and journals, and a lot of our work is cohered around AI-based decision-making, which I will talk briefly in a moment. But we also have partnerships announced with all the hyperscalers. We work with them, with clients, to bring generative AI and AI to our clients. We do partnerships with academia as well, where we do joint research with academic units, including Stanford University, Boston University, MIT, a number of other ones. You can see some of them up here. And we have a very strong push on AI for good, where we actually bring a lot of our technology, some of it open source, to help with the biggest global challenges. And we've won a lot of awards and recognitions. Now, the cohering principle around our approach to AI is agent-based. What do I mean by that? You can wrap any functionality, any application, any API or database into an LLM. And so what that gives us is you're able to talk to that functionality in natural language. You can actually log the intent of that LLM. So we have a log of the intention around the system responding to what the user is asking for. You can do safeguards, ethical and responsible AI safeguards. But very interestingly, you can actually wrap other functions and microservices as well and have them talk to each other in natural language. And that gives us a robustness and future-proofness that is very unique. Our vision is one of software stacks and application stacks starting to migrate to being agent-based, very similar to how the migration to the cloud happened, for example, a decade ago. And so we eat our own dog food. We use this approach for internally AI enabling our own processes and software. We go beyond the obvious use cases. We do build retrieval augmented generation, machine translation, all the obvious use cases of generative AI and AI. But we go beyond that. When we engage with a client, we use our agent-based platform called Neuro AI in order to identify use cases that tackle the client's KPI directly. You'll hopefully see that in some of the work that the team is going to present.
Mr. Babak, a prompt, you're close to 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For you.
So, yeah, just wanted to wrap up by saying that built into the fabric of this platform and what we do is responsible AI. And we built these use cases within 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to wrap up. Sorry, there's so much to say. I'm going to pass it on to the team.
Yeah. Thank you, Babak. Yeah. So with that background on the Neuro AI and how Cognizant approaches the Neuro AI solutions, I would quickly come to the problem statement, right? So today in insurance value chain, right, there are several processes. It's all data intensive, right? Starting from quote preparation to policy issue to claims. So there is a lot of data that gets collected, a lot of data that gets processed. Many times there are missing data, and there is a need for expert judgment at various points of time, whether to really issue the policy, with what premium, whether to really pay this claim, with what amount, does this really satisfy all the conditions? So there is a need for a summarization and assimilation type of capability, which we did not have till now, right? Which has been being done manually. So today we have Gen AI technologies. So our approach here is a suite of solutions for insurance carriers, right, that actually addresses several of these problems at various points of the value chain, right? Be it underwriting, be it new business, be it claims. So we have agents that can step in the form of these assistants, right, driven by Gen AI that can assist the human in the loop, right, with appropriate summaries and decisions that can help them to move faster. What is our uniqueness, right? What is our innovation here? I think so that I would like to address very quickly. So our USP and the really unique strength here is our domain knowledge. So because we have been serving our customers for more than 30 years, we have that expertise to contextualize these solutions for the occasion. And not only that, we also partner with several of our carriers today, right? We have around 150 plus carriers that are in business with us, who actually step in with us. They work along with us to collaborate, and then kind of we work together. What is the right prompt for the situation, right? What is the right level of customization that needs to be done? So we validate our solutions, we design our solutions in partnership with our customers, and we put them in production in partnership with them. So those improvements feed back into the new work that we keep on doing. And our suite of tools, right, the Neuro AI platform that Babak mentioned, that actually helps us guide along the principles of responsible AI, so that all the solutions that we do in Cognizant, right, they adhere to a uniform pattern, right, in terms of sticking to the guidelines. And the R&D is also
close to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
A prompt.
Right. In terms of market potential, we do have 100 plus carriers with us. We process almost 50% of the premium in US and 50% of the claims. So our ability to influence the market and access to various carriers is huge. So as we speak, we are already working on 35 plus Gen AI projects with many insurance carriers. So that's our market potential. Social impact, I think the main highlight here is the avoiding of prolonged claims, right? Because the system helps with this judgment. So that actually helps people to move fast. And then carbon footprint reduction, right? Because there is a lot of assimilation and generation, right? So that actually helps avoid this printing of papers and unnecessary travel for site inspections and all. So that's the social impact and sustainability aspect of this solution. So I would quickly do a demo of one of our solutions. So this is a claims virtual assistant. Can you do the demo? Can you, Gavin, the sharing part?
Should I share the demo? Just a minute.
Yeah.
The video?
Video that I gave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you please stop the timer? I have to share the screen. Just a minute. Yeah. Allow me a minute to share the screen. Okay, before I start the demo, the timer is almost closing now. We'll continue for the Q&A timer as well, and then we can ask the questions from the jury. Okay, let me start the demo now.
Let us look at how our solution, Next-Gen Claims Assistant, works. Firstly, when the assigned claim is being pulled up, the loss adjuster is presented with a summary of the claim based on the multiple data sources. The intelligent chat assist supports the loss adjuster with his or her daily tasks with insightful responses such as identification of incident exposures in the reported claim, mapping of exposures to the coverages taken and perform coverage validation, identification of data discrepancies along with fraud flags, identification of critical missing information with respect to the reported claim, suggest estimate range based on the prior claims records, generating summary from the file notes and highlighting key insights, drafting of emails and letters to claimants or service providers, and most importantly, present similar claim insights on the claim being reported. The heart of our solution is data. Intelligence is primarily drawn from the integration with core insurance policy and claim modules. The solution that is built on the foundations of responsible AI principles comes with an intelligent chatbot that is powered by LLM models and works in the architecture of retrieval augmented generation.
Yeah, with that we conclude, Gavin.
You're on time with the presentation as well as now we start with the Q&A. Let me...
wonderful work, Babak and Shiva and entire
Chandra.
Okay, so I think somehow we were lost in what is the innovation, since this is the innovation award. It would be nice that if you can really highlight 2-3 points of innovation. I read through your nomination that you're using RAG, and most of the stuff can be really done by OpenAI Azure. So it would be nice if you can really highlight what is the unique innovation you have brought in either on technology or business model.
That's right. Yeah. So let me clarify that. So I think the foundational models are already available in the market. So I do agree with your statement. So the real innovation and the uniqueness that we are bringing here is the domain knowledge aspect of it, in the sense that how do you really tune these models that are already available in market in a way that it becomes appropriate for use from a for an insurance industry context. Right. So when you actually put a lot of data that actually says right, that comes from various sources, and the underwriter has to decide whether to underwrite or not, right? So how do you put together all of those data points and kind of come up with a point and say that yes, you can underwrite, but maybe these are the risks, or yes, you can pay this claim amount, but these probably are the informations that you still need to gather. So this is the innovation here, the true knowledge that we bring, right, from our experience with working with carriers and our partnerships with insurance carriers. I think that domain knowledge is the first innovation that we have here. Secondly, the platform that we are bringing, right, the neuro platform that Babak mentioned, that actually provides a jumpstart kit, right? Anyone who actually starts in a Gen AI journey can actually get into that suite of things, and then for any domain, right, for insurance, manufacturing, vertical, or anything, right, it can give you that ready kit of what are your processes in your value chain, where is Gen AI most suitable for you, and depending on whatever is of customer interest, we can pick that use case, and we have ready-made solution blocks that actually that adhere to the responsible AI principles on how do you really set it up, what kind of database you will need, right? How have others have done it? So it's a combination of business knowledge to answer your question that we are bringing, plus the ready availability of a jump starting kit that we have in the form of neuro, not only for insurance, for any domain. those are the two aspects I would highlight.
Okay, so a counter argument, Chandra. So knowledge cannot be the innovation, right? So if in terms of a RAG, anybody can really have the access to the documents and other literature, they can really build a model. So that cannot be considered as innovation. And in fact, most of the accelerator platform which we have seen in last 2 days, and there are so many other platforms which can really accelerate the entire process. So that cannot be can be claimed as a innovation. Sorry, I'm really pushing because I want to really bring out the innovation which can really help the jury to really decide.
Maybe I can help real
please,
quick highlight a few. First of all, some of the innovations that are captured in the patents, one is large language models it's very difficult to ascertain uncertainty. Point uncertainty in large language models. What do I mean by that? You ask it a question and it will always answer.
No, we understand, Baba. We understand that. Yeah.
So assessing uncertainty is a technology that we have that we can run against ML models as well as generative models like fine-tuned LLM. So that's one. The second is we can move from RAG, which is just retrieval of data, to actual decisioning. So the Neuro AI platform allows us to create an AI twin of the domain of discourse and answer questions beyond, what is there to what should I do? So decisioning questions. And then we can ascertain what is the impact on the various different KPI within that particular use case. So that's the second area of innovation. And the third area of innovation is explainability on the why we are suggesting a specific action to be taken.
That semantic search can really always offer you the references that can also not be termed as an innovation, but yeah, that's innovation. So are you trying to really position that Neuron is like a fine-tuned model for insurance domain from Cognizant?
So just this is not semantic search. What we are doing is we're actually creating an optimization policy. The system is authoring rules, and those rules are explainable and transparent. It's not a black box neural network at the point where we're actually suggesting. So that was, and sorry, you had another question.
So no, I wanted to really ask you, are you trying to position Neuron as a fine-tuned model for, say, insurance domain?
No, Neuro AI is a platform. It's general purpose. It's an agent-based platform that allows us to create use cases. However, when we create a use case within insurance, it's differentiated because of all the items.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Professor Julie, Dr. Sarkar.
My question will be around how do you protect customers from where the automated decisioning is incorrect? So we don't have 100% accuracy with machine learning. So what about when, for example, fraud detection? How do you ensure that customers are not falsely accused? Of course, you talk about explainability. It helps you to explain why the machine made the decision. But what are your thoughts, or how does your system approach it from that point of view, those edge cases?
That's a great question. So a number of things. One is we have an AI twin, so we can actually assess what the impact of that decision is going to be. So not only are we saying do this, we're saying what's going to happen if you do this, and here's my certainty on that particular outcome prediction. So those help. Explainability does help. And when we're less certain than the threshold, we can have a human in the loop. So that there's degrees of how and remember, we're not saying our model is 80% accurate. We're saying for this particular decision that you're going to make, we are this certain. That point certainty is a very important component of the decision making.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Avik?
Good questions if I ask other people.
So you have to.
Can you hear me now?
So you need to be loud, sir. We could hear you, but you need to be loud.
Okay. Okay, I think it's a good platform that you have developed for the insurance domain. Really love the various aspects that you're providing in there. The queries that were posed by Bhupesh and Professor were quite pertinent one. So what sort of installations do you have around this? How are customers using this platform currently? If you can showcase some of those aspects you touched upon, the innovation aspect as Bhupesh was talking about. How are customers using it? How are they? Some of the aspects are some of the problems that have been solved for the customers. Can highlight those aspects that will be helpful.
Chandra, you want to take that?
Yeah, go ahead, Baba.
Yeah, so what we do is the Neuro AI platform is a no-code platform. It actually allows us to create these use cases end-to-end very rapidly, and then it actually exports them to Jupyter notebooks. And the Jupyter notebook that is produced contains all the steps that we need to take, from data to the provisioning of the data, from pulling the data from the different sources, confabulating the data, all those, all the way to the UX itself, which includes a ChatGPT-like interface, as you saw in the demo. That notebook can now run on any cloud provider, the cloud instance for our client, or on-prem. We can switch the LLMs that we're going to be using. All those things can happen. So data security is guaranteed. And we allow infinite customization because it's all Python code and very modular that our clients together with us can modify.
Yes,
So we've done that for several clients where the output of Neuro AI is then exported and used by clients.
So my question was a step back to this. Like, is this something that your team members are using, or this is something that the clients are handling on their own?
This is, I can jump in there, Babak, sorry. This is primarily developed. What Chandra demoed for insurance is used by our customers. And Dr. Avik, specific to your question, it's in the claims process for an insurance claim, and also in the underwriting process while a insurance application is being written. So those are the two specific use cases used by our customers.
I will ask, so the customers are actually using this platform that you have developed on their own without the intervention of competent folks?
We are in POCs with the customers right now, and we've not gone live, but yes, that's the intent of going live.
That's the intent, that they can do it on their own for a self-service one. Okay, no, that's good. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Thank you, Dr. Sarkar, for your questions, and Team Cognizant well presented and also answered the questions. Thank you for the team to showcase your innovation. Wish you the best with the innovations here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Arun.
Jurors, we come to the end of the presentations, and with this, I would also like to thank all the participants who have been quite patient enough to witness all the innovations from starting, which at Indian Standard Time is 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the night now. Thank you for your time, and you also been part of the jury presentation, which was not only for the day two, but also for the day one. Thank you, and I hope you had an insightful session. To the jurors, Professor Julie, Dr. Sarkar, and thank you. Much obliged for your time. You've been patient enough to understand each innovation with your question and the valuable feedback which you have added in the comment section of the evaluation. Much appreciated. Thank you for your time, sir. And Mr. Deria, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sarkar, Professor Julie. Thank you so much. Very interesting questions and very enlightening discussion. And thank you all the companies and the audience. Okay, wish you good luck, good night, and have a rest of the good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.